Tarmy is the name of our friend Tommy.
Oh my god, okay.
After like 10 p.m. he turns into Tarmy.
Because we have a friend whose second name is Tarmy,
talking
but
to
we
the mic.
always said, like,
Wait,
we're going to
you-
Tarmy our reputation and shit.
You have a Tarmy too?
Yeah. Like, and he was a fucking lunatic when he got drunk.
Yes, that's he doesn't. Our Tarmy doesn't get drunk though. He turns into like a goblin after like 10 p.m. Yeah,
Gargoyle.
yeah. Then you
Yeah.
got like Curvin. Curvin comes out after like maybe 8 p.m. That's Kevin.
That's
Kevin
me.
turns into Curvin.
We got Jimmy B too.
Oh, Jimmy B.
Yeah, Tarmy, we did Squid Game, and that's when I met Tarmy for the first time. Is we were in this little portable warehouse in Mr. Beast's studio in North Carolina, and Tommy was like just sort of, it was like a non-disease version of leprosy. Like he was just disintegrating and turning into this thing that we call Tarmy, where it's almost like sleep deprivation. It's very hard to describe, but I mean, it could be very similar to just like an incredibly drunk person where they can't really, it's like they're just like a shell of themselves, but they're still like,
It's like the only thing operating is their brain.
yeah, it's like there's
In a
some
way.
core functions have shut down,
Yeah.
but they're still going.
Okay. It was like the opposite for our Tarmy. It was like everything was functioning except for his brain. It's just like he's just on fucking autopilot. His executive function is just vanished. You didn't know what he was going to do.
Like blackout drunk.
Sometimes he was just like one of those friends that you kind of had to keep an eye on because like they might just like wander off and do something really stupid, and it's like, you Tarmied up our reputation.
What about driving?
No, we wouldn't do that.
No.
Ireland's really strict on that.
That was always my nightmare in like, I would say probably college. I didn't really drink too much in high school. I never got invited to those parties.
Me either.
I think Chelsea's already told the fun story of the first party I went to in high school where I was just like cleaning cans up.
That was me at Jake Laser's party. I'm like,
Yeah,
I know I'm too
honestly,
old to be here now because I'm like picking up the trash off the
You
floor.
telling me that made me feel good because I was like, yeah, you know what? That's the friend you want to invite to a party.
I remember the moment I realized everyone was drunk at those parties, because I didn't drink in high school either because I was a fucking nerd. And then my mom gave me my first fake ID after I graduated.
What?
Whoa.
Wait. Okay. Wait.
Ireland is
What
awesome.
question am I supposed to ask right now? I feel like I'm supposed to ask something. Your mom gave you a fake ID?
She went back to college. Once I finished high school, secondary school, she went back to college. Because like, okay, the kids are fine. Don't need to worry about them anymore. Because she got kicked out of school when she was like 16 for drawing a naked person in Catholic Ireland. It's like,
Oh.
That's fine.
get out of here.
Man or woman?
I think a woman. It made national news as well. It's like we have like newspaper clippings of like her and her teacher got like kicked out of the school for it. But yeah, when
That's
we
like
finished school, she went back to college, and there was a guy in her class. She's like, "You look like my son. Give me your ID." So I just had some ID from someone in her class.
Like an old ID or?
Oh no, it's his current one. She paid for a
he got
replacement
new
for
one.
him.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's so fucking funny.
My mom's fucking cool.
So it's a real ID.
It was a real ID. It wasn't
But
fake. It was just
stolen
someone
ID,
else's.
stolen.
You're just like, "You look like my son. Give me that."
Is that stolen? What is that? Fraud? What is that? Fraud?
That's epic.
I mean, no,
I
I know
wish
it's
my
epic,
mom
but
was
like-
that cool.
I was like, I finished school. I was 18. No,
Oh.
I was about to turn 18.
I'm assuming you guys have a normal drinking age of 18 as
Yeah.
opposed to our psychotic 21.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you can join the military here and die.
Get a gun.
You can get a gun.
You can get a gun at like 12 or something.
Yeah, if somebody gives it to you, like if it's a gift, it's like all bets are off.
But don't you dare drink. Bad. We should just like have one age for everything. Like I'm totally fine with that.
12.
12. I think 12 is fine. Everything that
Weed
requires
out the
an age-
weaklings.
Yeah, a Denny senior citizen
Yeah.
discount 12.
But everyone who wants to drink in this country drinks, and nothing really happens. That's
Yeah.
from what I can tell.
The same thing that would happen happens.
Yeah.
It's like a door slamming right now.
Don't.
I remember like having the age wall for drinking was like a challenge for us growing up, where we would try to, I remember like I had a microscope and like some ink, and I was like trying to like dye the date on my license plate to
wow.
like change the date. It looked like shit. It didn't work, but we would do like the plastic windows in a wallet. You like slide like a paper ID behind it, print it on glossy or whatever, and then you would like show it. And if they asked you to take it out, you'd be like, oh, like sorry, it just kind of is like stuck. That worked exactly about maybe 25% of the time.
Ireland's driving license was so easy to to forge.
Yeah.
Because it was a paper license. So we could just print it. And then the only thing that was like kind of difficult to recreate was that it was only laminated on one side. But we just ended up getting 2 pieces of paper through the laminator and then cut it in half. So the other side didn't get laminated. But we only used that for America though, because because it was 21 here.
Oh, so you would show
So
them.
when we came over, we'd show the Irish driving license. They're like, what the fuck is this?
That might actually be like, is that a strategy for people drinking here? They show
Yeah.
fake IDs from
From a
other
different
countries.
I think they'd probably still know.
You think
It's
so?
like, you're not, what is this? I think it was, they knew, but they were just like, there is like 2,000 Irish students here this summer, and we're just gonna let it go.
I think, I'm not a legal expert, but like, in my opinion, I feel as long as they check your ID, there's plausible deniability. Like, they do not do stings.
They stopped my mother from drinking when over here. It's like, oh, you're not over 21. I was like, she's like an old age pensioner.
Yeah.
She's like in her 60s.
Like, come on.
Mom, don't listen to this.
Don't worry.
There's a good chance you'll listen to
Wow.
this.
The no sun over there really does great for you guys with like wrinkles and aging, I guess.
Just like the stupid laws here of just like they have to check. And if
Oh,
you
so
don't
she
have
didn't
it-
have it.
She didn't have it because she only had her
okay.
passport and she wasn't going to take that out with her. And they're like,
yeah.
no, we can't let you in. And then eventually I was
come
like,
on.
come on, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Do us a favor. It's not even a bar. It was like an arcade that we're taking her
Oh
nephew
my
to
God.
That's
And they
happened
wouldn't-
to sell alcohol.
I feel like if
They didn't ID my nephew.
but they ID'd your mom.
I don't understand this country.
If you no, it's not. I don't think it's the country. I think there's a lot of stupid people. Wait, is that the country? Shit.
Yeah.
There's definitely something in the water in some states. Where was this at?
North Carolina.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Anything like I remember visiting. Sorry, Nebraska. I remember visiting Nebraska for the FSAE, the race car, the college race name, and everyone in Nebraska like went to the Walmart and stuff. Yeah, Walmart's Walmart. Like, you know what Walmart is. Everybody, I don't have to explain what Walmart is. And I don't mean that like what literally it is. Like, you know what it is. They were like slow. Like they were like frozen. It was like they were frozen. Like they spent too much time in the walk-in fridge. Everyone was just like the way they talked and spoke
like
and
drugs
moved.
shit.
Yeah.
When we flew to the Arctic from Albany like a month ago, and so like got the train up to Albany, if I'm pronouncing that right, and it had that like crazy New York kind of mental illness vibe, but just in the country. It's like, this is like a nice kind of like rural area, but they were all just a little bit out of it.
Yeah.
And like we went to a Walmart and they were just mumbling everything.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel like the place that you would have that. But it was still like just New York, but like country flavored.
Yes.
It was weird.
I have no idea why. Is it like, are people that just like to be not in a city tend to be more like that? Is there something that's actually going on? Is there something in the water?
It's
like-
severe lack of mental health services in this
Is
country.
it?
I don't
Like
know.
maybe
Everybody's
but, like,
clock speed is just like turned down like 10%.
Yeah.
Or it's lead or some sort of poisoning or
The
Maybe-
pesticides, a lot of farmland.
maybe.
Actually.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, is it nature or nurture? Like, are they just not accustomed to like the hustle and bustle of like being around people, and so they tend to operate a little slower?
It was the exact same feeling that I had in New York City. It's like the same kind of just something's like
Wrong.
you're not okay.
In the
Like,
city,
you need
in New
help.
York City
This
too?
was-
Or
you
in the
know what
country.
New York's like with people are
Yeah.
just a little bit like the people just walking the streets sometimes are scary.
Oh, I think they just straight up don't care in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New York's like a prison with no rules. Like everyone's like fighting for themselves.
Yeah.
Like driving in New York. I mean, I
Oh, it's the worst.
I
Could not.
enjoyed it a lot. I had a lot of fun
Oh,
driving
yeah.
in New York. I thrived in that environment. It was just like you had to let loose. I think I might have actually been the worst driver in New York at that time. And by worst, I mean most aggressive.
Yeah.
Light turns green, honk.
Like,
Yeah.
I was considering moving there like next week. I was supposed to be moving next week, and I went there for like a week. I was like, I can't.
I think New York would be fun for 6 months, knowing that you're going to be gone in 6 months.
Yeah.
I just realized something. Who are you?
Oh, we didn't. Oh, yeah. We recorded the beginning of the podcast and then we fucked it up again, didn't we? Because we had to start over because
We
the
had to
mic
start
wasn't
over.
working.
So nobody knows who you are.
Do we want to close that door while we're here?
I was thinking about that the whole time.
It's just like squeaking in the background.
Oh my God. Now we're going to get distracted again and no.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's so hot.
just me getting distracted by it.
It's very hot.
It's hot.
It's like 90.
very, very
Is it 90? What is it right now? Do you know?
It was supposed to be like
80.
87.
That's basically it.
Apparently, it's
77? That's bullshit.
Oh,
there's no way it's 77.
soft Californians.
Yesterday,
Come
I was
to
in
Texas.
the sun all day yesterday, lifting and
No, you're
sucking.
getting distracted.
Oh,
you're getting distracted.
Today's guest is Mark Rober. No, this is Brian McManus. McManus.
Both, whatever. Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if I am saying my own last name wrong.
I feel like I'm saying my own last name wrong all the time because I have a bit of a lisp.
Like, who would know? Oh, me too.
Yeah.
People make fun of me for it all the time. Do they make
Really?
fun of you for it? Yeah.
Fuck those.
Especially if my mouth gets cold, I start talking worse.
It's like when your fingers get cold, they don't move as fast.
It's bad. It's like it like actually becomes a problem. Like my tongue cannot get out of the way of my teeth.
Mm-hmm. I grew out of it because my mouth like grew into my tongue, which sounds weird as fuck. Like I went to a doctor when I was like 12 for it, and they're like, it'll go away. I was like, how do you mean it'll go away? It's like, your tongue is just
huge.
Fucking massive. It's like, yeah.
So your channel isn't your name though. Your channel is
Real Engineering. Which I hate the name. I hate the name so much.
No.
It's very pretentious.
No, I've never thought that. You know what you should do to balance it out? You should have a second channel called Fake Engineering.
Yeah,
I've said you've had that joke.
We've considered it
it's
many,
too obvious,
many times.
isn't it?
If I ever start like a channel where I start actually building things, I'm going to call it Fake Engineering because I don't know.
Set the bar low.
Yeah.
The more engineering.
I don't want to build real shit. I want to I want to do what y'all are doing.
Building trash.
Yeah.
The more I think learn what engineering is, the more I realize that like all engineering is fake engineering. Like everyone, like the idea of engineering that kids have in their head is like this hyper polished like Tony Stark thing. But you know that Iron Man suit he built in the cave would have just crushed him to death the first time he tried it, right? He like everyone's like, oh yeah, Tony Stark. Like no, it's what's the other guy? The guy who actually built the suits that crush people. His like nemesis, not enemy in the first one. Hammer. Hammer.
Justin Hammer.
Yeah, like that's actually what Tony Stark would be. And everyone's like, oh, this is like god level engineering. Like I think all engineering is kind of fake because you're just trying things until it works. Like even if you're doing the math and shit, like fluid dynamics, you've done fluid dynamics. It's all
been a long time.
It's all bullshit, right? It's just tables. Like it's like how do you do the math? Like it's based on a bunch of experiments. Like
I mean, like most people like with the CAD and like FEA or like finite element analysis and all that, like most engineers don't know what they're doing now. Like we've lost so much of like, do you know how a slide rule works? I don't fucking know.
Just make sure the chart is green on your FEA.
And there's like conversion analysis and all this stuff that they teach you to test if it's working correctly, but like hardly anyone actually knows unless you're like programming it. No one really knows how it works.
It does scare me a little bit. Like I definitely think I get this vibe, and I could be totally off base, but that people nowadays, like there's so much reliant on tools. So much reliance on tools that maybe people are slightly less good of engineers than they used to be.
100%.
And so like,
but it doesn't matter,
right? Like we can accomplish more things because the tools like expedite the process, but they maybe understand less about it.
I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
I think
like they don't really grasp the core like.
But like
problem.
You don't need to know that shit though.
You don't
just
need
let the computer,
to know it.
But like it's hand.
But
like
then you might not know if
genius.
something's going wrong. You know, like the deeper of an understanding. Like,
yeah, I mean, like we did program a Mars satellite with the wrong units at one point and crashed it into Mars. So there's definitely some idiots out there.
Like imagine like the assembly like the assembly software for the moon landings and whatnot. Like they really knew everything that was happening. They knew everything, like except maybe the silicon, like what actually was happening on the chip. But nowadays it's like so many levels of software that the person who's actually writing the high level thing just has to trust the ladder beneath them is strong enough and not corroded at all.
Like they don't make like race conditions or like set up some weird like
something could happen that you literally could not explain because you have no idea how any of it works because it's like actually decades of like historical just locked in place code.
I was kind of impressed with the Starship launch. We were actually talking nerdy stuff. I thought this was just going to be all chaos, but I'm down. With the Starship launch, when Elon, and I don't think he's doing half the work, obviously.
No, he's no way he's doing anything.
No.
But
he's
obviously,
just
like
snorting ketamine in the bathroom and making kids with his executive employees.
I'm like, how did he grow that chest? Like,
it was weird. Are you trying to maintain a good relationship with him or no?
I burnt that bridge a long time
so we can
ago.
go sicko mode on Elon Musk.
Yeah, it's like someone was telling me to stop tweeting the things I tweet about. And I'm like, dude, no one gives a shit. Like, I'm never getting invited into SpaceX.
No.
Like that. I got invited to Tesla during the Cybertruck launch, and they didn't tell us it was for the Cybertruck launch.
A cyber rodeo?
No, that was the recent one. This was
yeah.
when they were
Before.
announcing it, when they were like revealing it, and I wish I said yes, because I wish I could have been in the front row of that audience just laughing.
The ball.
I was like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is that?
I think that was kind of the beginning of the end of like the Elon Musk, Tony Stark era, where people like. I think that was kind of like the glass broke more than the window, or the ball.
I think it was the pedophile moment when he called
that
that
one.
guy.
Yeah, I didn't think
yeah.
really. That one I just thought I didn't really fully understand what was going on. But then the kind of compounding of those sort of moments made you realize like, this guy's actually kind of just. Like, he's a great persona for building an idea, but the instant he gets too much,
He's also just like he needs more people around him.
Yo,
Or else he
yeah,
just keeps
that's what it
firing
is.
people. He
Yeah,
keeps-
but but the reason he has no people around him is because if he does, he gets rid of them.
yeah. Did you see Everyday Astronaut's recent video?
No.
He has like fucking 10 children, just like
like 12.
yeah.
I think he just
But
had another one.
But just like around the camera.
Just
Like
running
he had
around.
the children like holding onto his legs during the interview. and
Really?
Tim tripped over one of the kids during the interview. He was
Wow.
like, whoa.
Oh my god.
I wish I was there for that.
Dude, I could have I think he's actually got another secret kid, and it's BPS Space.
Yes. Oh, Joe. Yeah, Joe Barnard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look exactly
Dude,
like,
right?
like horrifically like.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I've never thought that before.
No,
No,
they like
in person,
super
it looks
look-
like a 20-year-old younger
Yeah, let's
Elon Musk.
compare.
It's actually, it's
I think it's half. I mean, I say sorry, Joe, but like I think it was a large part of how he got started. Is people straight up thought he was like somehow related to Elon Musk.
I saw him at Open Sauce, and I'm like, it took me a second to realize.
I don't see it.
No?
I don't see it at all.
That's not
Joey
no,
V, my
dude,
boy.
I'm telling you,
No, definitely.
person?
Yeah, I've never thought that.
he just looks like a more refined.
Oh, they're Scott
Like a
Manley.
maybe slightly healthier,
Yeah.
more normal chest
Uh-huh.
size. Yeah, Joe doesn't have the
Nah.
same gorilla energy that Elon has.
No, Joe's great. I love Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good dude.
I think that I really like. I had a friend that worked at Tesla for a while in the autopilot team, and like hearing some of the stuff. I'm trying to think of like what like nothing really matters at this point. I think it's fine. You just like people just kind of afraid. Like the more you worked under Elon, the more likely you were to get fired.
Yeah.
It was like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
And he would just say like the most insane shit to them.
I can imagine. You see the emails he sends around.
Yeah.
Just like the hardcore. We're in hardcore mode.
Yeah.
It's like I would not last in that company.
Yeah.
Sorry, Elon. I'm
I got
actually
too
in
big of a
cum
mouth.
mode right now. Apparently, I bet you Elon's probably always in cum mode too. With how many kids you got?
Oh,
10,
that man's
12,
jizzing up
100?
a storm.
Bro, how many jizzes has Elon Musk jizzed? If
It's
Elon
impressive,
Musk could
honestly.
jizz.
If
Fucking
he
like,
could jizz Musk.
How does he convince these? Oh, he's got money. Never mind.
yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
But I'm like,
what do you think's going through his head? Like, is this like I'm doing humanity a favor by making more Elon?
like a
Musk?
narcissistic thing?
Yeah, he 100% thinks. Like he talks about that all the time. That
Yeah.
he thinks that we need to like
Have more
to have more
babies.
children. And like repopulate because God forbid like
Why?
capitalism
'Cause you always have
doesn't
to grow.
enough new
Fucking the
workers.
Tesla factory's full of robot anyways. Like, why do we
Yeah.
need more?
Yeah,
I mean, that's how it should be. More robots doing heavy lifting.
Yeah. I was trying to think like what's the minimum amount of people that could like sustain current society, you know? Like if everybody gets like, you know, there's all the same amount of jobs, but
yeah.
you just like shrink it.
But you got to think of it from like it's like a growth perspective, right? Where it's like maintaining population is great, right? Because
Yeah.
it's built for the current population. Declining population is horrible. Like
Why?
Japan right now, because your infrastructure requires
There's no old
a set number
there's
of
all old
people, right? Because you need support at the end and at the beginning. And so if you like lose the beginning, like less kids, you need less support there. But all of a sudden now you're gonna have this problem where there's it's the baby bust population
Yeah,
problem.
you have to support all the old people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what if we just
Well,
don't?
Yeah, exactly.
See,
Just
exactly.
like, you know,
On
You're
today's
on your
episode
own,
of the Safety
Grandma.
Third podcast, we're gonna look. We should.
it's okay. No, they're not listening. You can say that.
Well,
They
my
don't know how to
grandma's
listen.
dead.
They spend about half their life at the self checkout at the grocery store. They don't have time for this shit.
Oh, well, she might be listening.
Yeah. Your mom.
Your dead grandma.
Oh no.
Because I know my live grandma doesn't watch this.
My I cannot
she-
imagine that my grandmother watches this. I have two grandmothers, and there's no fucking way they watch this shit.
No.
No way.
Does your mom watch?
My mom does. I know Kevin's mom does.
She does. She's a fan.
Yeah. She doesn't like me though.
Oh
right?
she says
I'm her
that.
least favorite safety
Yeah,
pin
you
character.
talk too much.
I talk too much.
His
yeah.
mother was
You don't
on...
let Nigel talk enough,
Your mom's a Nigel simp.
dude.
Is that true, Mrs. Kohler?
It's
Who's
true.
not? Who's not a Nigel simp?
I think that like Japan's problem right now is the baby bus problem, right? Like there's not enough people to support the growing population. You have the same problem here, right? I don't really know what the social
I
security
don't
problem
think
is
it's
here.
a problem.
What do you mean not a problem?
You would if you were old.
Yeah, because
Well, that's their problem. I
Yeah.
mean, why can't we just like give them, what do they want?
Yeah,
Social
I don't-
security? They want money? Is that it? I don't.
they
really
don't have
pretty
money.
much.
That's the problem.
Pretty much. And like, that's your problem. You didn't
Well,
save
sure,
for
like,
retirement.
give them some money.
I thought this was America. I thought we were under
It's all
capitalism.
fake.
I know. Just get rid of social security, give everybody a hand grenade, and then a big pile of money. It's a Mr. Beast video in the making,
We
dude.
just need the purge.
All the social security money in a big pile. Everyone gets a grenade. The last one to limp whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is anyone walking away? I think that if you were to like try to like boil down how much money the US government actually has, it might be a lot less than you think per person. Like, what do you think it is? Like, per person? Like, how much money the government has, whatever that means.
I do not think about this sort of thing very often.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't think it's really like a let's take care of our old people problem. I think it's like way
We all agree, dude. Fuck old people.
deeper than that. I think people just want like to grow, or they're afraid of America falling behind, so they just want more people.
I want politicians
More white people?
that are more likely to die from being hit by a bus than of old age.
Every time I hear people say that like we need more babies, I think it's always kind of like a little bit
Perverted?
racist.
Oh, racist?
Yeah, it always has
Against
that
who?
kind of energy.
Against babies? Can you be racist?
Against-
What's it? Ageist. That's ageist,
Yeah.
right?
I always feel like it's just like people like Elon Musk who are like, we don't have enough people to work in our factories. We need more people to work and like make me rich.
yeah,
I'm
that
like,
could be it
It's
too.
not my responsibility.
I think it's part of me wonders like how much of that
religious.
is a conspiracy versus like actual reality of more kids means more like cheap labor. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a real thing.
It's not even just cheap labor. It's just labor.
Yeah.
It's just,
But more of
Yeah,
it
'cause you
would
don't
make
have
it
to pay
cheaper,
'em.
right? I mean, if they're kids. We need more factories that are operatable by children. Like we had like the pedal presses to activate the machinery. We need them to be like child foot size.
do you remember like at Vsauce we got one of those buttons to press when we were scared?
Yeah.
I want one of those buttons. Like, will someone like come in and get me out of this conversation?
Help.
I'm scared.
Did you like? I took one. I like put it on a table, and I'm like,
I
try
did.
me,
I
try me. Yeah.
Dude.
The little kid, the little kid next to me.
I accidentally pressed it in the middle of my thing.
Uh-oh.
Did Pat roll out?
And was like, everything okay? I was like, oh yeah, we're just having a chat. And he's like, okay. You pressed the button. I was like, oh shit, sorry. I just had it in my pocket and like forgot I was there.
Yeah, we're trying to the discussions at Open Source are like,
Do you want to give some context to all
oh
that?
yeah. So at Open Source, which we just went through, I would say suffered through. It was great for the attendees. It was bad for me and the team running it. Kevin got some of the enjoyment as well.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, I got to walk around this.
You
year.
got about 50-50. You got about 50% dog
Yeah.
shit, 50% of enjoying the event.
Pain.
We just copied what VidCon did with the creator discussions because it was something I enjoyed doing. Where you get the middle tier VIP tickets. You get to talk to people for 15 people, 20 people for like 30, 40 minutes or whatever. And it's always nice. It's like a good way to interact with fans in kind of a controlled environment where you don't have 1,000 people coming up to the same
I
time.
didn't know I was doing it until like I arrived there that morning just to like join, and someone just came up to Patch at Tears Zoo. Was like,
Yeah.
"Are you Brian?" And I was happening to stand
Yeah.
right next to him. I was like, "No, I am." It's like a bearded white dude.
Hey.
I was like, yeah, it was me. And she's like, "Oh, you have a creator discussion in 10 minutes." Like, oh, I do.
I got a what? Where? Who?
And I've never done anything like that. So.
How would you rate it's a little bit of like a thing that it's probably the most contentious creative thing because a lot of people can't handle it.
I thought it was fine.
Okay, that's good. That makes me feel better.
Going in, you had the table set up in this massive
it's too big.
square. It was too
Yeah.
big. And when they came in, I was like sitting at forefront of some sort of CEO.
Yeah,
and
like where do I sit? Number one, it's like, do I sit in the middle or do I sit on the edge?
I just got rid of the table.
We actually shrunk we shrunk ours down.
Yeah.
We everyone kind of picked up and we rearranged everything.
Oh, nice.
I just got rid of the tables. We just did like a little AA meeting.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Brian.
I am not an alcoholic. I swear.
I'm here because.
But yeah, I told them as well. First thing, I was like, they gave me this button to press if I'm scared.
Yeah.
Don't make me press it.
That's good. I was like, I'm not going to press this. I'm going to solve all these matters with my own hands and do little shits.
Yeah, I was not afraid. Bunch of fucking nerds.
Yeah, I think that I mean, people are totally right. The creators, it's definitely takes a little bit of say conversation skills. So like the more awkward you are, it definitely is more difficult.
Yeah. It was awkward at the start because I didn't know until like 10 minutes beforehand that I was doing it. So I was like, any of you know what this is supposed to be? And they're like, no. I was like, all right.
No, I mean, you just
hanging out.
I always
like
just start by asking people questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of the safest bet, and then you can pick on a couple of people of like you know that they're gonna give you kind of easy to talk to responses.
Yeah, there was like 4 people there who were like asking questions, and
that's perfect.
Yeah, it's easy
because then that'll just keep it going.
Oh, yeah, and I do what I do in my videos and just info dumped all over them for
they probably love that, dude. Yeah. Because if they explicitly picked you, because it's a bit of a lottery system where they'll everyone votes for who like their top 3 choices are, and then sometimes if there's not enough competition, everyone will get you. So you'll just end up with people that like really want to chat.
Yeah, and like I've never had a bad interaction with anyone. Of like,
if
they're watching my videos, it's usually because we're into the same thing. It's like, we can just talk about engineering. It's cool. Yeah,
I like the small discussions more than like being up on stage in front of a bunch of people. Because the awkward silences feel like a lot more awkward.
No, it's bad.
Because then like in the discussions, I can just like single out somebody and be like, so have you ever tried making a YouTube video or something? Just like keep it going.
Did I tell you I had two people that worked at Land O'Lakes in my discussion.
The butter place
the
from
butter
Florida?
company.
From Florida?
No, they're like in Wisconsin or something like that.
Okay.
But one of them was an engineer that works on like extrusion machines, and the other one was in I can't remember what department. But
butter
like
extrusion.
Butter extrusion. The other one whips the cows so they're more productive. But I was excited. I was like, holy shit! I buy your butter. Let's go! Like, send me a pallet of butter. So I was asking them questions about I guess where butter comes from or whatever. Turns out it's cows, I guess.
This is actually
just
a question.
No.
Is this true? Does it actually come from cows?
Oh yeah. Just comes straight out of their asshole.
She did the real engineering of extracting milk.
So
from
why
cows.
are they making extra extruders if the cow just
It was
they just don't like the shape when it comes out?
I guess your job when you work somewhere is to just come up with shit even if it never gets used. And so there was a bunch of things that they had patented of like pre-measured butter where it was like you snap them off.
Oh yeah,
so
like
tablespoons.
Toblerone.
Yeah, like
butter.
Exactly. So instead of having to, I mean,
that's such an American invention.
Yeah, it is very American.
Pre-measured butter.
What if they just had some guy like brr, 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 on a cow's udder so it comes out as butter?
like a small
shaking.
Yeah.
Like a millimeter stream of butter coming out. Yeah, I and then there was a kid who was, he and his mom, they were asking about, like, how do you get started? How do you get this and that? And I was like, it's the classic of like, well, honestly, you just got to do things. But, you get an internship, maybe at like a butter company. And then I'm like, so I tried to set that up and they're like, oh, it's too far. And I was like, all right, I tried. Just matchmaking like a 15-year-old kid to this Land O'Lakes butter
You want to
engineer.
work in butter?
Yeah.
Dude, I honestly, I feel like that would be a great internship. That'd be such a cool, like the weirder the company is, like your everyday kind of classic items. Because you have one of your friends worked at Boar's Head for a while.
Yeah. The Boar's Head, it's like
is
a meat.
another butter?
No, it's meat.
No, it's basically the other part of the cow.
Very close. And
Once
it's
the cow stops making butter.
It was the Boar's Head R&D department. So they have to figure out like all this kind of stuff to do with meat. It's like, what do you, I mean, it's like, it's meat. Like, but they're like, we have to innovate. We have to innovate meat.
Do you know there's what Patch Tirzu did before he started YouTube? He was working at like jerky links.
Really?
Dude, that's definitely a Tirzu video.
Like a
Which
scientist.
animal is the best beef jerky?
Do it, Patch.
Wait.
That guy thinks he's running out of animals.
No.
Dude,
Aren't there like a billion?
There's so many. He's going to be mad at me for saying that.
I think he's just going to find the weirder ones as he goes on. It's just going to get better.
I hope so.
Should do like a tier list within animal species, so it's like which like bird versus bird kind of thing.
That's kind of what he
doing
already
that?
does,
Okay.
kind of, yeah. But he likes to do like
Domesticated
the
animals.
bird tier list, and like the overarching kind of species thing.
Domesticated pig versus like wild boar.
I think he tried to do one recently where it's like a blender animation of like a velociraptor versus a bear or something. I can't remember what the other animal was. And
Bear beats everything. Well, maybe not a velociraptor. No, bear would win.
Yeah.
Bear literally,
It's like a tank.
and you know,
Yeah.
they've done the experiments to prove it.
What experiments?
We fired.
Velociraptor?
We
Or bear?
fired. Do you see? Have
Bear.
you ever seen the hypersonic ejection or
Bear.
the supersonic?
I'm worried about where the
ejection
bear
thing?
comes into this.
Yeah.
They fired a fucking bear out of it. It was like a
This is
conveyor.
spin
Something
launch?
like that. You pull it up.
Launched a bear.
They spin launched a bear?
No, they just like drugged up a bear, put it into the escape capsule of like the
Of like a
supersonic plane.
fighter jet, and then launched it
Yeah, just
out.
launched it.
So the
Look
the
at him. He's like,
60s.
whoa.
Oh no, the actual photo of him landing.
like jelly. It's like a pile of jelly.
There's a bear in that.
That is
There's
gotta
a video
be.
of it.
That has to be the first time.
There's
or
a video
maybe-
of it on YouTube.
We just don't do real science
Oh, look,
anymore.
that's my video. Why the U.S. Air Force injected a bear.
Wait. So why can't we do cool shit like that now? Why did all this happen
Yeah.
in the 50s and 60s?
Cancel culture.
Wait. I just want to
can't
know
make funny
who
jokes anymore.
wins this one. Was it the air or the bear?
The bear is okay.
It was.
Oh, okay. See, bears win
I was gonna
everything.
say- I was gonna say, yeah.
Tiger,
Air.
bear win. Yep, everything.
God, no, this is
There we go.
Wait, I think you nailed it.
5 years
Is that
ago.
a bear? No,
that's a
man.
human.
Oof.
Oh, he didn't land.
That's still
think
a
it's-
rough
Yeah,
one.
that was
Where-
pretty rough.
That's not a bear either. There's no way.
This was my there. Yeah, it's that bit there. No. Oh,
Holy shit,
Oh,
dude!
Yeah.
how long? This was 5 years ago. Yeah.
This is like the invention or testing of ejection seats
Yeah,
in
they were
general.
like developing ejection seats and trying not to like compress people's spines and stuff and figure it out.
Dude, I bet you if you ever get ejected from one of those, you're having a very bad month.
I had to do the training for it for the F-16 flight.
It's still not that bad. The training. What does the training subject you to?
They made me like the worst part was they put you on a little box and you have to like do the fall.
Yeah.
So like you don't break your knees or whatever. And I was just I was really jet lagged because I got the call while I was in Ireland of like, okay, you need to be in Vegas tomorrow.
Oh.
I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm booking a flight then. And I just got there and had like 2 hours sleep and then I had to fly in an F-16. It was
Holy
cool.
shit.
I puked everywhere. But yeah, it was the worst bit of the training was getting strung up in the harness.
Yeah.
It's like when you're under the chute and you're just like dangling by your nuts, like not fun.
God, yeah.
And then the little jump thing that I just kept screwing up. And the guy was just looking at me. He's like, you fucking nerd.
he's like,
Why can't you
don't
do
worry,
this?
you're probably not gonna have to do this.
Yeah, and if we do,
You're probably dead anyways.
Because you have to pull it yourself. You have to pull like the ejection
Oh, yeah.
handle is right there, and you can just pull it at any time. It's not like there's no engage.
The,
like
the
it's
pilot doesn't want you to know this, but you can just pull it at any time.
it's like they just really.
the ride ends when you say so.
Was there like a psych eval or anything before?
I'd imagine so, yeah. Because
They're
like
just
that's
like-
why they told me the day before because I had to go through all the Pentagon approval stuff. But I don't like I didn't have to do a psych approval, but I'm sure the Pentagon like
Oh,
has
look
plenty
you
of
up.
information on me.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the weird shit this guy's into?
This guy does not give us pulling the ejection handle vibes.
Yeah.
I thought it. You thought about it though.
Do I want to die today and like land in the middle of Vegas?
Dude, wait, that would be sick.
Some dude just having a trip in the middle of the strip and some guy lands in an ejection seat.
Hey, coming through.
Wait, so if one person pulls it, does the other guy like automatically get ejected a
don't
little bit
think
later
so.
too?
I don't
Okay.
think so. I think you have to pull it yourself.
So you have to be conscious.
There is automatic ejection stuff in it.
Does it wait way
Well,
later though?
I'm not actually sure. Like the F-16 has automatic terrain avoidance stuff.
Okay.
So if you pass out, the plane will actually pull up itself. Which well, I don't know if that applies to.
So you could just be on your way home, like, all right, see you, Brian. I'm out. This is my stop.
And the pilot
And, like
is-
compress every vertebrae in your spine.
Yeah.
that there's no way
You
that
get-
does
I
not
heard you
fuck
get a
up.
couple of
Oh,
those, you know?
It
Yeah.
injures the shit out of you.
Yeah, I think you can only do it like once or twice before they medically retire you.
Oh, like if you're a test pilot, they retire you, I think, automatically. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you have any sort of concussion, you get retired from being a test pilot.
Bruh.
Just like rough.
Is it worse than like an airbag going off?
Yeah,
under
maybe
your
now,
ass?
but I think back in the day, you like needed a concussion to be a test pilot to get back in one of those planes.
Yeah.
Because you've seen the airbag videos of like people sitting on an airbag under a
Like
couch.
against the
Oh.
Those are like that might be. That's got to be worse.
I think that's no.
no.
I think the rockets have a bit of a thrust
A little
curve that it's like a
softer.
little bit soft.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it launches a little bit up a rail and then the rocket thing goes off.
Okay. I cannot imagine. I think an airbag's got to be the worst thing to put under your ass. There's no way.
I could think of worse.
A bear.
An airbag and a
bear.
And a bear. A bear bag.
I feel like we were talking about something before this when we got really distracted.
Yeah, welcome to Save Your Third Podcast, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, we're doing fatherfucker now. I forgot.
This is the first podcast where I haven't had to worry about appearing really smart. It's great.
No, that's how we do it. It's like we don't have to research. We set the bar low.
Mm-hmm.
We what we try to do is we try to like bring our intellect down below the guest to like help the guest shine.
Yeah, we want you to feel good.
Yeah, we want you to feel. You're the smartest person in the room right now.
That is not true. That is not true.
I wanted to ask.
Y'all actually build stuff. I need to stop
No,
saying y'all. All
that's-
the Irish people are going to get annoyed at me.
No, that's good. Let it out. You can say that here.
You can sit in an air conditioned room all day.
You can't say that in Ireland.
We're out in the sun getting freaking skin cancer making videos.
That's
I think
true.
you're actually the smart
That's
one
true.
here.
I would love to start making things, but every time I consider it, I'm like, I can make a video
Yeah.
in like a week.
The problem is you're good at what you do. That's like I think everybody we get stuck in this cycle of like we're generally good at what we do, and so it's way easier to just keep doing it. Than
Why'd
to
you
try
look
to
at me
pivot.
when you said generally?
Oh, because I want to.
Thank you. You know what?
Kevin's better than me at building things.
You're better at thinking.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I will think things through. Kevin will just fucking do it. And
Yeah,
there's
just gotta get
there's something
started.
very like unhealthy about thinking things through that I appreciate the way that Kevin and
is.
Peter Streeple build things where they just freaking do it. That I sometimes will like sit in Fusion trying to solve a problem. I'm like, I should just glue these together. Like, what am I doing? Trying to make some.
You try to make stuff that like you imagine something like it would be like a production product. Like
it's an automation fetish. You know, where it's like,
definitely.
Yeah, it's
like
not.
Everything has to have tabs, so it like sticks together.
It's fucked up, bro. I have a problem.
I told you at Open Sauce. I nearly said Vsauce there.
No, you did earlier. It's
Yeah,
funny,
you
though.
did. I?
Yeah. You're not the only person that's done it, and I do actually think it's incredibly funny. Because he was the only creator not there, basically.
I haven't seen that guy in.
I haven't heard from him in
pre-COVID.
years. We did a podcast with him, and then he I have literally not heard of him.
Like
since.
I
think he
I
might
feel
have
like
died.
he's just like created an AI clone of himself
Yeah.
to all the shorts now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
I
own
remember
time.
like it was actually I think that was the same VidCon that I met you for the first time.
2019 or 20.
Yeah, and like we were doing a creator roundtable.
That was a great VidCon.
And he came and just like nearly sat on my lap, and I'm like, holy fuck, it's Michael's.
It's like, yes, daddy.
And like that back then, I was still getting like nervous around like big YouTubers. Now I'm just like, oh, it's who gives a shit.
That was the EduCon, the EduCon, right?
Yeah.
I remember going to that. That was freaking wild because it was Vsauce, Smarter Every Day. I think Tirzu was there. I think it was the first time.
I think
don't
Pat
really
was there,
remember.
yeah.
And then it was like every freaking science YouTuber legend that I had like grown up watching. I was like, holy shit. And I had just filmed a video with Mark Roper, but I had to edit it, so I had to leave EduCon, and so I like bailed like halfway through and sat in my hotel room like trying to edit a video to post it the next day. So I missed out on like half of it.
It wasn't that good, anyways.
Yeah,
that was like the year YouTube started ruining it.
Yeah.
Like they made it really corporate. And I was like,
There's this like weird kind of bastardization. Yeah. Bastardization.
Sounds right.
Bastardization.
There you go.
Bastardization. Of like EDU stuff where a lot of times it just kind of turns into like a little bit too, it's like too polished.
well,
and
they
then
started like holding up EDU like a little
trophy.
a marketing thing of like
Yes.
YouTube's good for society.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're going to help EDU people. And then they're just helping people who make like tutorials that get like 100 views.
Yeah.
There's like, you don't understand what EDU is on YouTube. They've gotten better. They've gotten better.
People have gotten a lot better of it, but like I think something that's always frustrated me is this like corporate perception of what is EDU and what is educational. And you get someone like Michael Reeves, right, who is like, I don't know, what is Michael, a goblin?
Yeah.
Goblin. This is like this little fucker. Michael's like a little fucker.
He's also like one of the smartest people on YouTube too, but he refuses to like tell anyone how he's doing it.
He's super
like, so
clever. He's super clever.
Because I don't think
and
anybody really wants to know.
they don't want to
I
know.
do.
You
And he
do.
always skips
Yeah.
over all the programming.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I wanted to see that.
Some
But, like,
people
that's why he gets the big views though.
Yeah, exactly. I think that a lot of people would say that Michael Reeves is not an educational channel. And I think,
Oh,
sure, It's not Bill Nye the science guy. It's Michael Reeves, the crack smoking goblin dude.
Like, he's Mark Rober, but
yeah.
But he's probably driven more people to like want to be an engineer and want to be smart.
It like showcases why you would want to learn stuff, not here. This is how you make an if statement. And I think that is this probably what has pissed me off the most about all the corporate like EDU initiatives is they see tutorials or they see like Khan Academy and they're like, oh, this is educational. It's like, yes,
and give them
it is
loads of funding when it's the cheapest stuff to make.
Exactly.
Well. Like, God damn it.
And then you end up basically having a bunch of uninspired kids like not reading and looking at this material because they have no reason to. And they've skipped the inspiration part. Like they're completely oblivious to like why kids would want to even begin to learn this stuff.
And like not to devalue what they're doing. I think what they're doing is really helpful and good.
How much are they paying you?
Nothing. Nothing.
No, I agree. There's just like we have this. I mean, it's kind of one of our like founding principles in general. Like I've really adopted this ideology. And honestly, actually, anybody listening to this podcast right now, this is probably the smartest advice I'll ever give you. People don't want to get fired. And everything you do in your business, you should be thinking about how the people you're working with are not going to get fired because they work with you. Does that make sense? Like everything you try to sell.
How is that actionable?
Yeah,
it's a thought process of like, how do I approach somebody? How do I tell them about my product? How do I tell them about my service in a way that it would be stupid for them to not do it, and then bringing it up to their boss isn't going to get them, fired. It's a kind of an extreme version of it. But like when you think about like why tutorials get funding for EDU stuff, it's because it's explicitly obvious that it's educational. Whereas Michael Reeves, imagine pitching that to your boss about it being educational.
Who knows nothing about science at all.
You're getting fired.
And this is some guy cursing and playing.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, this is stupid. Why would anybody watch this? It's like, it would be professionally embarrassing probably to showcase a Michael Reeves video and say this is educational. Even if the reality is that Michael has gotten more kids into science and engineering than like any other EDU channel.
Yeah, they only start watching Khan Academy once they're in engineering.
Yes, exactly. Like once they want to build a robot that, I don't know, squirts energy drinks in your mouth, then they start paying attention to Khan Academy.
Yeah.
They have gotten better about it recently with the actual, like I was complaining at one of the EDU cons. We all started complaining because they ruined it so much, and they made it this whole like corporate kind of selling to us almost thing. And
you're like, what?
We started complaining to them. It's just like, just give us A/B testing, give us like dubbing, give us like the actual tools that we want, and just stop using us for marketing.
Do you want AI backgrounds? I can give you AI backgrounds.
Oh man, they love
that.
Minecraft. Have you seen the Minecraft short thing with the
no, I haven't.
Wait, what is it? What is it? Find it. How do we search for it?
I haven't seen a single short with AI backgrounds.
It was like a promoted YouTube short. Like you couldn't avoid it. Anytime I opened shorts, it was right there, and it was just a load of people hanging out in a Minecraft background, but they try to make it kind of Gen Z, kind of. I don't like. It was beyond. No, it wasn't that one. It was
search Skibbity Toilet short.
I feel like I've been seeing it pushed to me as well.
Yeah, because it was recent? From YouTube. Yeah, it was like one. I don't know if it'll come up in searches.
There's this intersection between like creativity and corporate that is like kind of a nightmare. And I totally understand why it turns into that, because the bigger you are, the safer you have to be. And the safer you have to be, like the less creative you can be. And you end up with these like hyper polished, bizarrely, hello fellow kids.
And it's all like very data driven of like what's hot on YouTube right now. And it's like, if I had to try to understand what some Gen Z kid is watching, I remember talking to like people who were in Dream SMP, and I was like talking to them at Creator Clash for like an hour, and then they we ended up like exchanging information or like following each other, and that was a very boomer way of saying it. We exchange information. Started following each other on Instagram.
Did you touch base later? Circle back around.
Give me your business card there.
Skibbity Toilet.
Like followed each other.
Did you riz them up?
No. And I was like, oh, like you got like 2 million followers. What the fuck do you do? And it's like, oh, I play Minecraft. What the fuck? Or I met Carl Jacobs for the first time, and he had all these like rings on him, and I didn't know who he was. I was like, all those real?
What do we call him? Boy King?
Boy King.
We call Carl Jacobs Boy King.
He's such a nice person.
Yeah.
He like, even though like I was kind of a dick to him when I first met him unintentionally because I didn't know
He's
who
very
he was.
nice.
He was perfect.
He's like one of the most down to earth of the Beast Boys. There's a couple that are super cool.
Oh, that Carl.
They're all
pretty
great.
nice.
They're not listening to this. Fuck you guys. But the couple
Chandler,
that are like
you can fuck off.
the ones like Carl is one of the most just like down to chat and hang out and
He's
Definitely.
nice. He's one of the few that still like, well, I don't know if I should say this. One of the few that still says hi to me at events. and
no,
stuff.
you can say that
Yeah.
especially if it's true. What are they gonna do? Sue you for defamation? They're not
I
watching
don't know.
this
I don't
shit.
know. Like
right?
Jimmy's nice, but
Also,
Jimmy's
his
depressed.
producer, his friend.
Jimmy works hard to run
Dustin?
from his problems.
Did you ever meet that guy?
Dustin.
Dustin. Sorry, Dustin.
I
Yeah,
love
he's
Dustin.
great too.
Dustin's great.
Which one's Dustin?
Dustin's like big, kind of long
Yeah.
beard guy.
We went out to his compound thing like just after
Sex
COVID.
cult, the Beast sex cult.
Yeah. Did you go into that room
Which
where everyone was banging?
Oh yeah. I did. I immediately turned around and
Yeah,
left.
that's
I was
weird.
like, I'm
I was
not
like,
hot enough to be in here.
Yeah,
Whoa.
it was banging and Catan, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I know which one I'm doing.
So we went to Waffle House instead.
Yeah.
You went to the Waffle House as well. We went to fucking Hooters.
Did you? Is there Hooters there?
We didn't go with him, to be clear. Because there's nothing there.
No.
It's just like some little rinky-dink town.
It's like a weird kind of like, it's got some tech in there too. There's a bunch of tech companies.
Is there?
Like fab. There's like some big ass facilities there.
Yeah. It's like 2 hours away from where my brother lived, so I was like, oh, that's actually kind of handy. But yeah, it's weird little town.
Yeah.
You said that you wanted to like build things for videos.
yeah.
Like, what's something you want to build?
See, that's what I don't know. Like the ideas you come up with.
So shit that broke at your house. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say not for a video, but like
I mean, you've got to have something that you're just
short,
like
maybe.
something.
Honestly, the only thing that I really want to build right now
Yeah.
is like the most stupid little thing on the inside of my fridge. The water dispenser is on the inside of my fridge, so I have to open my door and pull this button
My
down and
parents'
hold.
fridge is like that.
Wait,
yeah.
so then you're like letting all the cold air out of the
Yeah,
fridge?
And then it drips.
and I have to stand there for like 3 minutes to fill like
Oh
a
my
glass.
God. Wait,
and it's,
that's
like, takes so long.
brain damage,
And
actually.
I just want to like 3D print a like button or a lever that will just hold it down for me. And I
That
can close.
Could end very poorly.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing like a YouTube short and just like outsourcing the design because I'm like, fuck it, I can
No, do it yourself. That's half the fun.
Yeah, I know, but I
Do you have a printer?
yeah, I've got a printer, but I've barely used it, and I haven't opened CAD software in so long. Like that used to be my job. I used to be a wizard at that shit.
Which one?
I use SolidWorks in my last job.
SolidWorks is
Inventor before
powerhouse. SolidWorks and Inventor are basically the same thing.
that. Yeah,
Fusion
Yeah,
is
they're
like it's like Inventor, but they've like cut your fucking hands off.
Have you ever used Rhinoceros?
That one's
one?
more of like a sculpting.
Yeah. I can't
Or no,
remember.
maybe-
I remember downloading that at some point because I think it's free, right?
no, that one's Siemens.
No. I think
Rhinoceros?
yeah.
I can't remember if we used it in the biomedical startup for designing stents. It was better. It was definitely better for like strange geometries because like SolidWorks and all that is like
Organic.
draw the shape, extrude it, spline it. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
difficult to do stranger shapes.
Yeah, it's not good. Fusion has some mesh stuff that you can use, but it's just it works.
But yeah, I'd have to like download and remember how to do all that stuff. And
I think you
Yeah,
can do
you
it.
could,
It's-
you could do it.
know
The
I could
hard
do it.
part
It's
is just
easy.
like
It's just
the muscle memory. Like once you know how to build things in CAD or like the ways you can do it, like the approach is basically the
I
same
could
in
do it
all
in
of
an
them.
hour. It's just
Yeah.
the resistance to downloading and learning it. When I have
Yeah.
a pipeline of videos that need to get made, and
Dude,
people need
making
to be
more
employed.
videos. Oh man, fuck those people, dude. No, I know. I feel bad. Sorry, Cord. That's one of my nightmares. Is employing people, like having this obligation. Because before it was just kind of a long time. It was just me
Yeah,
or me and my friend John, and it's like that's easy.
yeah.
But when you have like a team of people and you have to have the certain output, I definitely get it.
Just during COVID, because before that it was Mike was working with me.
What does Mike do?
Animator.
Okay.
So like half of real engineering, more than half of real engineering is the visuals at this point. Like we would not be relevant
great.
at this point if we
Bro,
didn't
it's
have
better
the
than
team.
TV.
Oh, it's amazing. We're getting hired
yeah.
by companies to do shit now.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we wouldn't be relevant without that. And he was working with us back in like 2017, but he was part-time. He had a full-time job as an engineer. And then during COVID, we started making more money. I was like, please come work with us full-time so we can do more. And then during COVID, I hired more and more and more. And then COVID dropped, and I realized I traded away all of my freedom, which I didn't realize because I was stuck.
You're like a manager then.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, god damn. But it's fine. Just have to be a big boy.
No, I mean, I definitely get it. Like, I think like the right answer is probably, I'd say, hire a couple more people. You just got to hire like the right people to help give you. I mean, like looking at what
we were already there as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's just giving people the autonomy to actually do things. It's just like putting it. Like, I could automate my entire channel if I wanted to, but I think the quality would drop.
Yeah, but
for a little while.
automate, like, is it like you, or you're saying like hiring people who have the ability to kind of,
Just
write
like,
it?
all I do now is write.
Yeah.
Really. And if I just like gave up and was like just hired a writer to do, like, and I already have Josie who helps me write.
Right.
I could just train
you
him
got
up.
time to build a thing that floods your kitchen.
But I could do more videos and make more money and hire more
That's
people.
that's the brain damage. That's the brain damage.
Uh-huh.
That's brain damage. That's like, for me, all I can think about is like, there's things I want to do and there's things I don't want to do. Like, the thing that's the hardest for me to do is making like main channel videos, because it feels like you need like a strong narrative. It's a lot of building. It's a lot of editing to try to polish. Like, it takes a long ass time.
Yeah.
And I've gotten
so much
really
easier
slow.
to just 3D print something for a fridge.
Yes, exactly. Like, I just
But
the other
I'm
day,
still thinking about making it into content. And that's also the fucking
I
the
think
brain
what you
No.
should do is you should build the thing for your fridge and not make it into content.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Like,
Yeah.
I built I made, my wife sent me 2 links to 2 different vacuum cleaners, like new vacuum cleaners, because our old one is kind of fucked up. And I'm like, I looked at them and they're like $700, and I was like, holy shit.
For a vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, the cordless, like the Dyson, whatever.
Fuck Dyson.
Well, that's
the same-
exactly.
Here's what you do: you go on AliExpress
Yeah.
and you buy the clone, and then
It's
you
fine,
just like
probably.
put
they're
the
not
extra
even-
$600 in your pocket.
Or what you do, and this is what I did, is I just
She'll
I
never
3D
know.
printed a new wheel for it. So I spent
Oh,
like
yeah.
3 days trying to do like the multi-material, and then I inevitably just
what
printed
broke on it?
one of the little roller wheels broke, and then I think the batteries might be a little sad.
It just kind of sucks, but
But
not in the right way.
Not in the right way. It's bad suck, not
Yeah.
good suck. Well,
Love a good suck.
I'll be here. I'll be here all day. I'm not paying $700 for a suck. Sorry. And it was like kind of like a fun little engineering challenge. Like, I like kind of remodeled the wheel shittily. I printed TPU for the first time, like kind of the flexible, and then I like made it so that there's like some kind of cog shape in the TPU, and then you kind of snap that over the wheel, and then I printed like a carbon fiber.
Sounds like you're way over engineering this.
Dude, yeah, but
I told you he has that. Everything has to be.
Fucking wheel.
I-
Like,
you
why
know,
didn't
I would have
filament
used a
anything
hole saw,
in a
cut
piece
out
of
a piece of
wood.
plywood, and then it would like.
that would have worked. But I got a little bit of satisfaction of just like doing this over a couple of days.
Fair.
I didn't film any of it. I thought about it, but I was like, nah, fuck that. No, I'm just gonna make this wheel, make my wife happy, and then save $700 on a freaking vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll fix the battery though. I think I'll just put that back together.
Can you not just like put a new battery into it?
Yeah, but it's all the knockoff ones, and then you like maybe get a battery that's super shitty.
Are they even good, the Dyson ones? Only thing I know about Dyson is the guy is a fucking lunatic.
What do you know about him? I've heard that too, but I don't know why.
He getting into Irish politics.
No, let's do it.
Oh,
Let's get
okay.
it. I want to hear shit about Dyson. What's his first name?
He campaigned. I don't know, Mr.
Asshole.
Dyson. he campaigned for Brexit.
Yeah.
And then took all his jobs out.
Oh,
of
I think I
Britain.
heard about that.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
That's
Scumbag.
that is extremely epic.
Yeah.
Scone bag.
Scone bag.
The Irish accent will come back.
What a
You
fucking
absolute
awesome little parachute for someone to like get away with some bullshit.
Yeah, it just like crashed his entire country's economy and like potentially started a war in Ireland too. It's like
There's
dude,
nobody like pushing for Brexit still, right? Everyone knows it's a bad idea.
No,
Or
it's gone through.
No, but I mean like the aftermath.
No, I think there's a lot of racists that are still.
Oh,
like,
they're still gunning for it?
I mean, like they just
I
want to
don't know.
stop immigration. It's the same shit here. They
Yes.
just want to stop immigration. That's
Yeah.
all it's ever been
I don't
about.
think
Without
I don't
understanding
think they
anything.
actually do. They just want to be vocal. They just want to. I think they just want to maybe sort of racist. Like even here, some like the most racist people, their entire business runs off of illegal
yeah.
immigration, and you kind of look at them like, what the
all the
fuck?
farmers.
Yeah.
All the farmers.
Oh,
You see
yeah,
the thing, like
100%.
80% of farmers are voting
Yeah.
for Trump, and he's trying to stop like Mexican farm workers
I'm
from
like-
coming
And they
in.
also
I-
have like a wall of
Yeah.
like Trump and like, you know,
Yeah.
2024 signs out in front of the field.
That's like
And it's like your entire farm depends on like seasonal labor. What the fuck are you doing?
everyone's entitled to their opinion. Like that's fine, but when your opinion like literally conflicts based on like like you have like opposing opinions for when it's convenient. That's psychotic. Like pick one and run with it.
Yeah, you want more people? Like just like let the immigrants in.
I know, dude.
Immigration is great. Immigration is that's why I'm here.
I worked in a kitchen, and there were these 2 Hispanic guys on visas that were the dishwashers, and I was like bussing. Dude, some of the shit they told me. I was bussing, dude. I was no cap, skibbity risen. Bro, the stuff they would tell me was like, oh, I definitely understand why you don't want to fucking live there. Where they were in the kind of like border towns where there was like cartel stuff. This is a decade ago, and I'm like,
have you been down to Starbase?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's
insane.
Right, like the weirdest
right
little town. The weirdest little town. But it's
the
like
neighborhood
right
next to it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Did they buy that out yet or no? They still fight with people?
Well, like the downtown?
The neighborhood that's right next to Starbase.
Oh, yeah,
Is there
yeah.
a neighborhood straight right next?
Literally,
Yeah,
there's like
yeah.
that
They have to
tiny
evacuate
little,
it every time they launch a rocket.
Because when I was there, we went in the night before the exclusion zone was put up. So we got inside the exclusion zone and we were on private property, so they couldn't tell us to fuck off. And we were just like there filming. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell this stuff. I might get someone in trouble. I think it's fine. No, it definitely is. There's loads of people there. But yeah, we were like 3 kilometers away, but it was like private land. So they couldn't like legally tell us.
And it was
leave.
just land. It wasn't houses or anything.
No, there was houses there. They're building houses like overlooking the pad. It's like, this is brave.
Like on the opposite side of the water, or on
if you're on the island, like
it might be in that neighborhood
from
then.
it. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah, I think so.
They have to kick everybody out of there apparently. Like every time they do a launch.
Like kind of by like where the satellite dishes are, like something.
Yeah.
When was this? How long ago were you there?
This was this IFT 3, so like 2-3 months ago.
Did they?
February?
It's still public road, right? So you can still like literally walk up into Starbase.
Like I don't think they legally can tell you.
Yeah, because it's a beach. That's like a public beach right there next to Starbase.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The weirdest thing.
It was. Yeah, we went.
And all the weird SpaceX people. They've got like the weirdest cult of people down there. Like watching
rocket perverts.
And they're all like, there's so many women down there that are like obsessed with Musk. Like they're hoping to get impregnated.
Man, that is like
when we were there was just the gravel guy.
My monkey brain is having this conflict in his head right now of like that's like sort of a nightmare, but I could definitely see how that happens.
Yeah, I mean, like he's talking about impregnating, like he's jizzing up anyone that.
Why? Like at that point, he should just fucking
risen
start a
and
line.
jizzing.
Risen and dude, no, he doesn't have to riz anymore. He just jizzes.
He just like points.
When we were there, we when like driving down the road, there was like somebody that spray painted on a sheet of plywood, like Elon Musk, please buy my gravel, and then a phone number.
Buy my gravel.
Buy my gravel.
He's done wonders for the economy down there. All
Yeah.
the house
Yeah.
prices. There's so many people that just
quadrupled.
bought houses to film
Yeah.
what's going on down there. It's like weird, the weirdest little.
We stayed in Tim's house. I could imagine the view when a rocket goes off. It's literally looking
Were you
right
there for
at
the
it.
launch?
No,
No.
we were there for.
Just a tour.
Why were we there? Oh yeah, just
They were setting up the first.
We were there before
the
it
first
exploded. Before the pad got obliterated.
Yeah.
I think the launch after we were there got obliterated. Right?
I think that was the first Starship.
Maybe. I still have a giant nut that I found on the ground under the.
Oh no, it was
pad.
after one of them exploded.
Was it Elon's nut?
I think no, it wasn't. No, it was a big nut, not a small nut.
Around
He doesn't have that. He's got very little nut left after how much.
It
nut
was
he gives
probably
away
like
for
from an
free.
exploded rocket.
Oh,
Maybe yeah.
actually, I don't know if I can say that. But like,
There's stuff.
do not buy a Starship tile and put it under an electron microscope and make a video about it, because you will get sued.
Really?
I think it's public.
Why?
So you're breaking ITAR.
Oh.
International trafficking.
Even
of
if you did,
arms.
what if you found one?
Still breaking ITAR.
How would you
What if
even
it's
know?
just a normal 2-inch long, 3/8 inch bolt with a hex
I think
head?
bolts are fine. It's just the the heat shield is heavily
16 threads per inch.
we got to go into the tile fab building,
Mhm.
and that was insane.
Oh, you actually did a tour of the
Yeah, we did a
base.
tour of it.
I'm not
Yeah,
allowed
I want
in
us to get
those.
out of that building as fast as possible.
Because you might
Yeah.
get jizzed up.
Honestly, like I'm that scared me too. I'm like, I don't really know how.
Don't take an electron microscope in my
in
lungs.
Like they have water for certain things, but like some of it was kind of like a little. I'm like, I don't
Sketchy.
know. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, they're like routing these tiles, right, with like CNC like routers, and
Yeah, I
just
mean,
like
it's glass I mean,
The amount
it's
of
essentially
dust.
glass dust.
Yeah, but they're like, oh, it's amorphous dust, so it's not like the like crystal dust that does damage. But I'm like, I just don't want to breathe in dust.
Yeah, that's insane.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
What-
They poured water into those. Fucking crazy. They
Oh,
like
yeah.
poured a bottle of water into the tile. It just like nothing happens. It's just gone.
Well, it's like, yeah, it's how the tile works.
I know,
it's
but
like
yeah.
90% air.
But like it didn't even fall through. It's just
Was it just one tile?
yeah, it was just one tile.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
just like
they like poured it,
like-
just
like-
gone. The
so
water
yeah,
just like a
sponge.
whole fucking bottle of water just like gone into the tile.
We were like,
hey,
can I have one of those for my car so when I'm stuck in traffic, I can just like piss on it?
Yes.
And then,
Wait, that was yeah. I remember that, and they thought it
Uh-huh.
was a good idea, but they said no, we couldn't have one.
yeah.
Did you hear about the piss rocket at Open Sauce?
No.
I
Oh
was like,
no.
We were just like on the way to Open Sauce, and one of the guys was just like, we should make a piss rocket. And then, like, of course, we all start like theorizing, like, how
Yeah.
would we actually make this? And
Are you
like,
talking about one of those rockets that you like pump up with air?
that's how it
and
started.
water?
Yeah.
That's how
Okay.
it started. But then I was like, no. We could electrolyze it and get the hydrogen and oxygen. I was like,
No, you get
that's
someone
cheating.
with diabetes
That's
and you
cheating.
pull the sugar out of their piss.
The ammonia.
Ammonia.
Get the
Ah.
ammonia out of it because the X15 was powered by anhydrous ammonia. Just do that. It's horribly toxic, but
but it's made of piss.
yeah, it's and it will smell of piss.
Oh,
I
when
think
it-
that's the important.
Before or
the
after it
important part.
burns.
Probably
Both.
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 I imagine. I think ammonia smells like ammonia. I
Dude,
imagine.
fuck the moon, fuck the planets. I think we should put
Piss
all
rocket
of our money. Piss
2025.
rocket. Yeah. Imagine the flex you spend all of our. Imagine if the public could vote on what we spend our space
we all
budget on.
contribute.
Our taxes on? I wish.
We like funnel all of our money
Piss
into
rocket.
rocket.
and we funnel
Yeah,
our piss.
That's
we-
$1 trillion into piss rocket technology.
All drains lead to Starbase.
Yeah, this is the piss
Piss space.
nitrated piss base. Yes, dude. I wish that we did more shit like that. I don't know why that's like frowned upon and not allowed. Imagine just like $1 million to make a piss rocket. You could make a piss
I
rocket
feel
for $1
like the
million.
YouTubers are doing it. Someone will do it. I feel like someone might go through with that.
Joe Barnard, you
like-
wouldn't do it, you coward.
Yeah.
Like even to get the views is like I made a piss rocket with Mr. Beast's piss. It's like, oh, banger, 100 mil views straight away. Like having to travel to North Carolina and just
You
like
collect his piss.
collect his piss.
No
You
questions
like dig
asked.
under his house and you set up a 5-gallon bucket under his toilet.
You need to build a filter to separate the shit from the piss.
Yeah.
You could do like some detection system. You only collect the piss. You ignore the shit and piss flushes.
That's true.
It's batches.
Yeah, this
right?
is possible.
So you'd have to have some sort of intermediary like bucket that has like a camera in it, and if it's even like brown at all, you get rid of it, and you wait till it's just a piss
No, it would
flush.
just be me. I'd just be under there like
Well, do you want to cut the pipe, or you want to have like a reservoir? You just
whispering up at him like,
Yo, Jimmy, is this a number 1 or a number 2?
he's like wrong house. There's no Jimmy here.
this is Carl.
I remember Nigel was telling us he did a video where they collected a piss from a diabetic person
It's sweet, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
you taste it. Yeah.
to
yeah.
pull the sugar out of
That's
it.
how they used to test if you had diabetes.
doctor.
They like taste your piss.
Was there like a specific person? Can it be like a dog or a rat at least? Does it have to be the doctor?
Isn't that what diabetes like? It means like sweet tasting or something.
Because you're like not properly processing sugar. It's
Sure,
like
yeah.
ends up in your piss.
Yeah.
And your piss is sweet. How sweet though? On today's episode of Safety There. What were your jobs before YouTube?
What were jobs?
Yeah, what were your jobs?
It's the most boring. I was actually going to say it earlier when we were talking about the glass dust thing. I was working in Malaysia for like a compass. It was cable trays and cable ladders and stuff for oil and gas and wind turbines and stuff.
Petroleum.
Super fucking boring. I went into the factory one day and I was designing all their composite stuff so we could put stuff into the North Sea because salty, corrosive, and all of that.
Mm.
And our foreman had got annoyed with the Filipino workers in the factory over some bullshit, and he turned off all the
Balut.
extraction fans off in the factory.
And just
And
like all the
they're-
resin vapors and stuff.
the
And
resin, the glass.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, they were late or something. I lost
Oh
my
my god, dude, that's like some
No.
fucking 1800s industrial revolution shit.
Yeah, some of the shit that happens over there, I was like, dude, what are you
I am outta here.
doing? I remember I walked in there one day and they were trying to get up onto the roof to fix something, and they just had the forklift and stuck a load of pallets on top of it, and he was just standing like trying to reach it. I was like, oh my god, guys.
Oh, wait, was the factory manager Filipino?
He was Indian.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, he was Indian.
That's something, I guess.
He was,
I
he
think
was
it's just kind of like that in general, in like
Yeah.
there's like a, you know,
There's a reason they're trying to run you off the road. Like
developing
Yeah,
countries,
yeah.
factories.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 But I was constantly complaining about stuff there. That's why I got fired.
Is that
Big
how the
fired.
economy works? You just find a bunch of people who are willing to do this job in like the shittiest, most dangerous way possible, while everyone who's like above
Because
it
you know
is
what?
like,
I bet the guy on the forklift changed the light bulb faster than
yeah, the
Yeah,
guy
you
without
know?
the forklift.
yeah.
I mean, that's how everything works. So, like, some of them are safe. Like, I always get annoyed with people who, like, they see a factory in China or something and they automatically say it's a sweatshop. It's like, that is racist.
No, those are in India.
Most factory, like, most of them, like, how dare you bring jobs to another country?
You ever
Some of them are sweatshops.
you ever seen
Not
some
all
of the India factory videos
them. No.
on like the shorts and stuff?
No.
Oh, you mean like the guy that makes like rims sandcasting out in front of his house,
Yeah,
or recycles
barefoot.
batteries,
Yeah,
recycles
yeah.
batteries by burning the lead and then
I think
extracting it, reducing it back.
There's some
One time,
crazy
an
ones.
executioner applied for our job, and I was going through the CVs. And,
wait, what?
What
job?
a security guard. We needed a new security guard because
Is he the guy that?
the other guy quit because he got tied up overnight by like local gangsters. They came and like robbed the factory, and the security guard was like just tied up when we
Oh,
found him in
he's
the
like,
morning.
fuck this.
He's like, yeah, fuck this shit, and he quit. So we needed to find a new security guard. And
Was he the guy that would turn the ventilation fans off when the workers were?
The executioner probably.
Yeah.
would, yeah.
well, yeah, it was like an executioner from Singapore applied for the job, and we were like, we don't need anyone killed, but if we need,
You definitely should have interviewed him at least and asked
Yeah.
him about his
wasn't
work
my call.
experience.
Wasn't my call.
Wait, do they kill people over there?
Singapore?
Is that the one with like if you bring drugs in, it's like
Yeah, I accidentally brought weed. This is already publicly known, so I'm not so bothered. I accidentally brought weed into Singapore once. I was like, oh my God, I could have got executed.
whoa.
Is
But
it
it was
even with
they
like
missed it.
even with
I don't know.
There's
I don't wanna
gotta
take the
be-
risk. I don't want to. I'm sure they have, like, it's more like,
there's got to
they've
be a
executed like
publicity thing.
drug mules and
Yeah,
stuff.
that makes
though.
more sense.
But like, which is crazy because those people aren't like gangsters.
Yeah,
They're
they
just,
usually get like
vulnerable people.
roped into
Right.
it too.
Yeah. Like some of them are being like blackmailed into it or whatever.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I just forgot I had a grinder in my
yeah. Oh, and it
in
had
my-
like
in my-
residue. in
Yeah,
it,
yeah, and I was
then.
like, oh shit! I just noticed when I went in. I was like, throw that in the bin. I'm an idiot.
Is there any like you can't just like what do they call when you abandon something?
Oh yeah. They have that in like New Zealand, and you know, like you enter
Oh.
in Dubai, like you can just like throw stuff away in these trash
Yeah,
cans.
it's like a no questions asked
before
trash
you get to
can.
customs.
Yeah.
I would not do that in Dubai. Even
No?
in the thing, no.
Why not?
I feel like
Dubai.
A little crazy there.
That's really, yeah. At least Singapore, I'm like, at least they're
Actually-
semi-reasonable. Dubai, I'm like, oh,
no. When I
don't
went to
know, man.
Dubai, it was actually just like they just like go on through. They didn't even check. There was like a
Really?
guy. Like all that happens is when you go through customs, they're like, you know, like where are you from, America? I'm like, okay, go through, and then there's just like a guy with a metal detector, and he's just like literally sitting on his phone, and you put it in the metal detector, it comes out, and he's like, come on,
Oh my god.
yeah.
Maybe what's the opposite of racism?
It seems like they didn't care at all.
Maybe it was like was there like a preferential treatment thing?
Maybe I think so.
Yeah, I'm keeping my mouth shut. My mom and stepdad used to live in Dubai.
Oh really?
My mom hated it.
How long ago?
Like 4 years ago.
Hmm.
No, like fairly recently. Like I remember I was making a video about the Burj Khalifa in Dubai because my mom like lived right next to it. So that was like 5 years ago. Yeah.
Why did she live there?
Because of the recession in Ireland, like everything just
Oh.
went to shit. So like we all emigrated. Nearly my whole family emigrated. I went to Malaysia. They went to Dubai.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and my dad's a embryologist, or my stepdad is an embryologist. So like IVS babies, he makes babies
Yeah.
for
Really?
a living.
He
Mhm.
makes babies.
He's
Your
like
dad
Elon
makes-
Musk.
Dude, except that's awesome. That like literally is like Elon Musk, except maybe more professional and less epic.
Yeah, he's not doing the jizzing.
He's probably made more babies though.
How many
Probably.
dudes' jizz has your dad handled?
Oh man.
Have you ever asked him that? gotta be thousands.
I do not know, but I do remember before I knew what that was, he
Yeah.
brought me into work one day.
Oh Jesus Christ!
And he was like under the microscope just showing me stuff like, well, this is the sperm, and the one of the sperm got stuck in a bubble, and he like got a little needle and popped the bubble, and it was like, I don't know, like 4 years later when I was like, motherfucker with popping cum bubbles at work.
Dad, you get fired at any other job for doing that unless you're Elon Musk. Okay, Jesus Christ.
I really hope my mom doesn't watch this. I'm not sharing this anywhere so my mom doesn't find it.
So your dad, I think we'd probably get in trouble if we had someone like your dad on the podcast because you just asked them like the fucking worst questions ever. Like how many gallons of cum has their office like had through its doors?
Probably a shitload.
Like it's got to be like a lot, right?
And they have a lot on like on storage and stuff like too.
Like how many? I know gallons is not really maybe the appropriate way to
I think,
quantify it, but I think that's probably the best way to ask.
I think it's
like,
drums.
Drums?
They use drums.
55-gallon drums.
Yeah.
But how do they stop it from like intermixing? Do they ever consider
man.
doing like a lottery system where instead of picking what you want, it is just like a big intermix thing?
Did you hear about? There was one IVF doctor who was like using all of his own.
Oh,
sperm.
Elon Musk
Yeah.
style.
Yeah, he was just like, he's like, no, we're not using your husband's, we're using mine. And he
Why?
had like 100, 200 kids, and
Yeah.
they only found out because of like 23andMe. They started realizing that they had all these like
Wait, it's
brothers
actually
and
it's
sisters.
150 in me.
Dude, that's good.
What the fuck would drive somebody to do that? Like that's actually like
the same thing that Elon Musk is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least that one makes more sense
Genghis
to me
Khan.
because that one's closer to like
This is a jizz rack.
that one. No, we use socks here.
Okay.
I'm
gonna dry my sweaty ass hand. It's so hot.
I know it's fucked. I'm trying to imagine like you're a doctor, you have a job, you get paid a lot of money, people trust you, and then you pull that shit. Oh my god!
Well, I mean, like it's jail.
Yeah, he went to jail. I'm assuming there's no way. Yeah, he has to go to
he
jail.
impregnated
Yeah.
women against their will.
That's insane.
Well, like they wanted to
Sort
get
of,
pregnant,
but
but
not
not
with-
by
yeah.
him.
What a
It's fucking insane.
fucking asshole.
Yeah.
What a lunatic.
Yeah.
For what reason?
Just
Like
probably
a weird
just
control
weird
pervert.
narcissist, just psycho. Like I mean, why do serial killers exist?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
This guy's like the opposite of a serial killer.
Yeah, serial coomer.
Like you like genetically, also like the amount of like accidental inbreeding that could have happened
Yeah.
because of him. Like maybe it's not
Already did.
unlikely that two of his
Yeah.
kids had.
That's probably why they did the 250 test. You're like, why is something wrong? You kind of. You feeling that? You feel? Are we related?
This just feels right.
It feels like right in a way I've never felt before.
I feel like I've known you my whole life.
Oh man. Are we gonna stop?
Do you want us to keep going?
Where's the panic button? Get Pat in here.
So you worked at like kind of oil processing or oil
No.
petroleum.
No. It was just support structures for
Yeah, petroleum.
but it was like oil and gas was one of the customers.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
it was just
okay.
energy in general. Like if
Right.
you had big, massive energy cables, we just
Do
made
stuff
support
with-
structures for it.
Oh, okay,
The most
gotcha.
boring engineering possible.
Right. Like the sort of the secondary tier contractor. You got like the
Yeah.
big company, and then you've
Yeah.
got like these little I don't know how would you even describe it? Kind of like the accessory companies, like the little fish swimming around the whale.
But they make millions.
Yeah, shit ton of
I remember
money.
like one of there's so many things that led up to me quitting that job, but I remember I stayed in late doing like 50 different CAD drawings for a contract in Saudi Arabia.
Jeez.
And like it wasn't that much work, but we ended up winning that deal for like 20 million or something because we were sending like kilometers of this stuff, and the sales guy obviously gets a commission on that, and he gave me like a bottle of whiskey, and I remember at the time being like, oh amazing, a bottle of whiskey. And then I was like
How
thought
much
about it
money
for a little
does
bit. I was like, this
guy-
dude just made more money than I will
in years.
in the next like 20 years off
Yeah.
my work.
Yeah.
And like all the salespeople were always sending me questions, and I always had to doing all of their work.
Yeah.
And they just go in and do the final bit.
It definitely like I think sales is important, but there definitely is this like inequitable thing where it's like you could just also maybe make the engineers part of the kind of sales team.
To
Yeah.
me, it's like waiters getting tips, and they're not sharing it with the chefs.
Yeah, there's
in
a
the
tip
back.
pool.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like everybody gets part of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Not just the way.
Not when I worked at a restaurant.
Really?
I didn't get shit,
No.
dude.
Dang.
I'd work like 6 hours, get $8 in tips, and then it wasn't until way later that I learned that was absolutely not how that was supposed to go down.
But like
Yeah.
$8 is not enough that I would get upset. But like,
Only getting $8 for 6 hours?
I mean, that's not a lot of money.
No, yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
And I was
if you
just-
were making like $1,000 in tips, and you're taking
yeah.
it all for yourself, and the guys in the back.
Oh
are
yeah,
like,
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Yeah, because
No,
I remember,
that's what the waitress said. I think that because I was like bussing. I was bussing.
Yeah.
like, I don't even know what that word means.
I think it means shaking your ass around real fat and juicy like.
Oh yeah,
That's
you were
not actually
I
busting.
feel like you would have gotten more tips.
They were keeping them. They weren't giving me for my hard work.
pimping you out.
I was being pimped out. I definitely I can see how it happens, because at the end of the day, like the salesperson is like the line to money. So it does make sense to like incentivize the salespeople, but then to like essentially to let you do part of the sales job of like answering all these questions and whatnot, and then not, it's kind of it's super
if
fucked
AI
up.
existed back then, I would have just been like, fucking ask AI, stop asking me questions.
Yeah,
like the stupidest question. I even like created a whole like database. It's like I was like that type of engineer that if I kept having to do the same job over and over again, I'd just automate it
so they could sell more and make more.
But then they would still ask me.
Yeah,
they'd still ask me. I was like, God fucking damn it, give
like,
me some of that money.
That's the thing, is like if you had been more withholding, you probably could have squeezed something.
Maybe, but yeah, no, that like job. I ended up getting like fake fired as well, and that's like
really,
yeah.
How?
Dislocated my shoulder and missed work on the Monday, and I went in on the Tuesday, and my boss lost his mind. It's like, why didn't you call in sick? I was like, because I was like in agony.
It wasn't I fucking hate this job.
Yeah. And it's like, no, and I'd been working there for 3 years at that point. I never called in sick.
Really?
Like,
They fired you for that?
He fired me. I think he real fired me, and I think the people higher up found out as like, this man runs your entire engineering division. What are you doing? And they came in and like apologized.
What a fucking moron!
Yeah, but then I quit.
Nice.
Pretty quickly after that. And I had like a 6-month notice period as well, which is insane. Like that was very much designed to stop me from getting another job and leaving. And then he ended up firing me like a month into my notice period, so they owed me like 5 months of pay.
Oh my god,
it was like great. It's fucking great.
What an idiot!
He was a dipshit. I'm pretty sure he got fired since. Fraser, you prick.
Fuck you, Fraser.
You Scottish fucking prick.
Fucking. I hope your wife gets impregnated by the IFV doctor.
I hope she does by his dad.
I hope Elon Musk bangs your wife.
It might be a bit too far.
Sorry, what was his name again?
Fraser. Definitely gonna find this man.
You know, sometimes that's like just part of life, is you're an asshole and then you find out.
Somebody gets a platform and tells everybody about it.
I like the day I quit as well, because I'd also asked for a raise because the Malaysian economy was like crashing because of the 1MDB.
Oh my god!
Did you hear about this? There was this national development fund that like they ended up the crazy corrupt politicians just like took for themselves, and like Wolf of Wall Street was funded by it. Like that was like stolen money that funded that movie. But that crashed the economy. And so my salary was going down. I was like earning Malaysian ringgit, but we're earning in dollars. I was like, give me a raise, like fix it. And he's like, oh, if I do it for you, I'll have to do it for everyone.
Yes.
He's like, yes, you should.
Yes.
You should.
So do you want your company to work, or do you want people to like, what the fuck?
But then the day I quit, I was like, a part of it was like, yeah, look, like you refused to give me a raise, blah, blah, blah. I gave him my reasons. He was like, do you know how much I'm going to pay your replacement? Because he'd already like lined it up. It's like my replacement was getting like 100 grand a year, and I was getting 25,000 a year.
So they just immediately had to pay more money.
Man, he was just being a prick.
He told you that.
Yeah, he told me as
if that wasn't a huge L for him.
Yeah, I was like, great.
You're like congratulations. I
made the right decision.
Yeah, I made you have what?
Yeah, you know.
What a moron.
He's the petty.
God, I
man.
could not imagine that man being my father, and the relief feeling knowing that a smart doctor was my dad instead. Yes. I'm gonna make it places.
Don't actually go harass this man. I doubt he has social media, but
how old was he then?
Probably in his 50s, 60s at this point.
Oh,
like don't go harassing.
No. This is a message for Fraser, not for.
Yeah. Bleep all that.
leave the first name in. I got fired by my boss named Dennis.
Fuck Dennis.
Yeah, fuck.
I've never met a Dennis.
I like honestly like he's a nice guy, but like there's just certain things that I think you should never forgive people for, and like that was one of those, of the sort of spite firing of giving like a 2-week notice and then them getting mad and then firing you.
Yeah.
Like fuck
it's
you.
So stupid.
It's
but
so
also,
petty.
Like, some companies that make sense, because you don't want someone who just quit having access to all your shit.
Oh, I was not that guy. No, I was like working in a machine.
What do you
shop.
mean, like non-compete, like bringing the company
like sensitive information,
or even just like when I worked in a factory after college, because again the recession, and I was doing like 12-hour shifts with stents. Like we were just measuring these tiny little stents. The most stressful thing in my life, and I got fired. I actually got fired from that. And they just like escorted me off the premises because I one day I destroyed like $30,000 worth of stents by accident. That was just dropping it. I just dropped
It's
the box.
not $30,000 worth of stents.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not.
That's like the retail
That's
value,
the retail
right?
value of it.
Sure. But still,
Yeah.
they made me fill out like a missing thing for every single one of them. It was the worst day of my life.
Is that why they fired you? Because you dropped it?
Well, they thought you're stealing them
among
and
other things.
reselling them.
Among other, selling them on the aftermarket to get something implanted into your heart.
stents.
Yeah, what?
Jesus Christ.
That's insane. People are crazy.
But yeah, I was terrible at that job. I was not sad about getting fired.
I mean, people regularly destroy like, $1 million accidents.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like,
But when you're like young and you don't really know all that sort of thing, because I was like 21-ish. I wasn't that young, but stupid.
I think I've learned in general that people are like maybe not as nice or fair as you are kind of led to believe growing up. Like, when you should get paid more, you don't get paid more.
Oh,
Even though
yeah.
There's no reason for someone to pay you more.
Mm-hmm.
So that someone else is making way more than you can make way more than you. Or even like, you're like people just not firing you over like the 30,000. Like they probably told you. You probably know it's 30,000 because they told you it's 30,000.
I knew how much. I mean, I was a biomedical engineer.
Yeah.
I knew how much those things cost, and it's like most of them are more than $1,000 to buy with the catheter and everything.
Right.
They're not cheap things to manufacture.
No,
though,
but
'cause
like
they're,
at
super,
most,
super-
what it was like probably a couple $1,000s worth of manufacturing time if the company had to start over. Like it was sort of
Yeah.
opportunity
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
Like maybe
Yeah.
the sales got
Mhm.
delayed, but I can't imagine they have not had worse accidents.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And so
They
just
definitely had way worse. They had to recall like an entire line at one
Yeah.
point because
and then nobody got
someone-
fired for that. Like you probably.
Oh, someone probably did. But
Well, how much was that? Would that have been like thousands of them?
I'd say that was like millions of dollars worth.
Yeah. Then it's like to go after one person for one mistake. It's like
Yeah.
if you make the same mistake twice, like sure, but
And when you work in a factory, though, you are very quickly replaced because
Yeah.
it's such like mindless work. You're just doing the same task over and over and over again, and they're like, if you're not suited to it, they kick you out so quickly,
Immediately. Maybe
like
it's-
so quickly.
maybe they were trying to get rid of you beforehand or something.
Oh, I
too.
sucked. I
Yeah.
sucked at that job.
Yeah.
I brought in. Like that's the sort of like I have too much fucking ADHD for that. Like I
Yeah.
need to be learning
Oh,
at
yeah,
all
yeah.
times. I need
Mhm.
to be doing something. I brought in like a reduced down version of Wikipedia on a thumb drive, and I plugged it in. And this is all like this was supposed to be a clean room, so you're not supposed to be bringing anything in. And I like just plugged it in, and between batches, I was like doing my batches as quick as possible, so I'd have like 30
Time to read
seconds
Wikipedia.
of reading Wikipedia.
Jesus Christ.
That was the only way I stayed sane. It's like where the idea for real engineering
So it was
started.
literally the same. It was the same process over and over again all day.
It was literally, oh man, here. So they're about like this size. Like
Yeah.
they go into your heart.
Yeah,
Like they're
yeah.
tiny.
in your arteries.
Like
Yeah.
they're like an inch
Yeah,
tall,
to-
maybe
If
two
even, I'd
centimeters,
say-
centimeter tall.
Maybe like half a centimeter.
Okay,
And then they're like tiny, like a few
Okay.
millimeters.
like a pencil lead
So
almost.
I was doing 3 steps by the time I was getting fired. So I like got trained up on different steps.
Yeah.
So I was weighing it beforehand, and then you put it into this drug sprayer. So we're spraying drug, anti-proliferative drug, which basically
Onto
stops
it.
the cells
Cells
from
from-
repairing, so they don't get restenosis, or it like it scars and blocks the thing.
Yeah.
And then I was weighing it again after to see how much drug was on it.
Oh my god.
oh my! It must have been like fractions of a milligram, right?
Yeah. But they never told us. Like I knew what that drug did as well. They never trained anyone in there. Like this shit will like give you
Like cancer.
uber. Well, like whatever the opposite of cancer is.
Yeah.
Because it's stopping
Leprosy?
stopping your cells from like you definitely don't want to ingest a lot of that. Like that
Oh
shit
my
would, like, definitely
God.
do something to you.
There's a spray.
People were like putting their hands in their mouth after
Oh
touching
fuck,
things. Like,
dude. Where was this at?
Medtronic
In Malaysia?
Galway. No, this was my hometown. My
Oh
hometown's
my
like one of the
God.
like biomedical device capitals of the world.
Dude.
How long does that stuff last though? Like on the stent.
I think probably a couple of months or something. I
Oh,
think it's
okay.
just like to stop the initial, because when you expand the stent into the artery,
It's like it injures it, so it wants to like regrow.
Yeah.
It wants to start that. Okay.
yeah,
okay.
so they just like stop that.
So I was thinking
happening with
maybe
the
it's just
drug.
like a weird, like silver or something.
No, it's like
But
an
it's
actual
like the
drug.
actual
It's an
drug.
actual drug. Yeah. I think you can do it with some metals, but it's I don't know. It's been a long time since I did this stuff.
Yeah, have you been fired? I don't
Never.
think heard
I've
any
never been
stories
fired.
from Kevin. That's actually astounding. I for sure thought you'd be like,
I'm a good little worker bee.
that's
I put my head down.
not even make them.
Fucking worker bee.
What do you? What's the closest you
I
got?
never had a real job.
job.
I worked at my first job was at Dunkin' Donuts, and I
Yeah.
worked there for like
You
a
just quit.
year and a half. Yeah, I quit
Yeah.
because I was like, going to college. And then I went to
Well,
college.
you're not taking this job seriously enough, Kevin.
Those are
Yeah.
tough jobs to get fired from as well. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
no one
There was
wants to do
people
that
like
shit.
way worse than me. Like
Yeah.
bad. I mean, this one girl would come into work like high on opiates and stuff all the time.
Oh.
And like, I didn't want to get fired. We got free food. We got tips. And there was a lot of money for high school.
Mhm.
And then after
Obviously
that,
high school.
I went to college and I was there. I didn't have a job. I did work in a research lab for a while, like doing bio stuff. And then they couldn't fire me because I was the one doing all the research. So the PhD candidate, like he didn't want to do it. And it was fun. I was in a lab by myself for like
That's nice.
most of the time. So I
Yeah.
could just like sit there and play on my phone while I'm waiting for the
Yeah.
microscope to count stuff. And then I moved back to my hometown to like continue going to school because YouTube started getting popular. So I had to move home. Then I worked at a grocery store for a while doing that.
Well,
And they
doing
wanted
YouTube?
to fire me, but
They couldn't.
they couldn't do it.
Why? They
I don't
felt
know.
bad?
Maybe.
I
So
also think a lot
I
of
rode
retail
the
stuff,
line.
they like it's difficult to find new people.
Yeah.
At least now. I don't know what it was like back then, but like no one wants to work at McDonald's. Well, McDonald's actually got a pretty good rep, but
You can. I mean, it's like something we kind of.
There was just always somebody. I made sure there was always somebody worse than me.
Yeah. We took a bear slower than me as we were getting chased by a bear. You can pay people to do a job, but you can't pay them to give a shit. And so like when you find somebody that is doing their job
Mhm.
and like doing a good enough job at it, like why would you go through the effort of firing them and try to find somebody new? Because like the likelihood of you pulling somebody new and them being
having
better.
to train them all over.
Yeah, and then them being
shit.
shit. Anyways, it's like it's a pain in the ass. I don't understand why people are so gung ho for whatever machismo they've got to try to have control of you. Like you can't quit. I've fired you.
Exactly. And it was always like part time for me too, because I'm just going to college. So
Yeah.
maybe they probably understood like I didn't really need this job.
Right.
I'm just doing it for some like extra cash.
Yeah.
Right. It's gonna be more the barrier for them finding a new person's higher than the barrier of them dealing with whatever they didn't like about you.
Curbing.
Curbing. Well, as long as you work the morning shift, you're fine.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Curbing. Dude, they give you the forklift access after the 3 a.m. when the 3 a.m. shift starts.
And then all the light bulbs get changed.
Then your YouTube channel has those like warehouse collapse videos on it. Yeah, I think I've quit
Insider
my other
collapsing.
jobs. The one job that I say was kind of pseudo. I didn't really get fired from it, but I've never been like fired, except for the job where I quit and got fired.
Mm-hmm.
But the one I worked with this engineer, very very meticulous. I think definitely thinking back, autistic engineer who was like running a small business.
Redundant.
Yeah, exactly. Exceptionally engineer. And it was, I think that there was maybe just a little bit too much of like my whatever's wrong with me, ADHD, mixed with him wanting everything to be kind of micromanaged and perfect was like never going to work. That was never going to work. And so I got out of there, I think, before it ever came to fruition. But other than that, I don't think I've ever really been fired.
I don't like neither of those times were really firing either for me. Like the factory, my contract was up, but all the people I started work with didn't get their contract.
Yeah, they just didn't renew it. They're
Like they just didn't renew mine. Everyone
Yeah.
else stayed on. I was like,
That's kind of fired.
oh yeah, no, it was just pre-organized firing. So they don't have to like
strategic
do it.
fire. Yeah, the smart way.
But yeah, I was going back into my master's at that point anyway. So I was like, fuck it,
Like
it's fine.
whatever.
Yeah, good luck.
Take the L and
Good
move
luck.
on.
I was delighted to be out.
So what do you do for kind of like coming up with videos now? Is it stuff that you've just known over the years? Is it just based on news or Reddit posts? Like,
I find like it kind of naturally, like we do have like a big idea list that like every now and again we'll jump into and like, oh, we need another like idea. We're like need of like, especially when it was just me and I was like focusing on one video and it would come to the end. I'm like, oh shit, I need to come up with the next one. Sometimes I'd struggle. But now with Josie helping me as well, I find it's going smoother. But since I started doing the Insane Engineering series, those ones just kind of write themselves.
Right.
Those don't require as much.
having to build it up.
Yeah, like trying to think what the narrative is going to be. Is like just pick a cool machine, find as much information on it as possible, and just do a really detailed video on it. Those are like, and that's what I like about that series. Like it's just very straightforward. You know what you're getting.
Kind of sells itself.
Yeah, and like that revitalized the channel a lot. Like our views were dipping, and I started doing that one, and it did well. And now the documentary stuff, we have a huge backlog of companies that are like reaching out to us to come.
Oh, really?
It's kind of annoying, honestly. Like the shittiest companies are like, please come make a video about it.
Fuck you. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Where did that come from?
I do not.
I love it. No, they're fine. They're fine.
But the thing,
They're fine.
Do you want to?
I talked to them. They're fine.
Yeah.
No, they're fine. We're fine. We're cool. Sorry. Oh, I don't know. Might not be a bad idea, but also it's probably funnier to not cut it out.
Okay. Did I tell you about the?
I wrote an angry email a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave out my part of that. What they did was fucked.
I think they don't. I don't think they fully understand what they were doing. But once I sent an angry email, I think they got it.
So full loop moment. The pedophile thing with Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I told you this. I don't know if I no, I did.
Yeah.
I think I sent you the screenshots of it. When that all happened, I searched like the person who was sending, because she was kind of bothering me at that point too, because she was sending me loads of emails to do videos, stuff, and they wanted me to make a video about them again. And I was like, by any chance is Mark Rober making a video with you right now? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
And then you fucking released a video. I was like, not cool. Cool. I don't want to be in Mark's shadow.
No.
But I searched her name just out of curiosity in my email, because I was like trying to find the other emails, and she was the one that was working at Tesla when Elon did the pedophile thing.
Oh my
and
God.
he fired the entire PR team. So she was one of the people that got fired.
I
from
love
Tesla.
that he makes a pedophile claim and then fires the PR,
because
team
they're
for
like,
not knowing how to deal with it.
Yeah, they were just like scrambling, and he's just like, fuck off.
Like, don't worry, I've got this.
I'll do what I want
on Twitter.
Yeah, that's why I said that was like the moment everything went to shit, because he just stopped being managed.
Yeah.
That was like his, I don't need PR, I don't need anyone to tell me what to do, I'm gonna do what I want moment.
It's like this
and
cringe, machismo cringe.
Yeah.
Freaking splooger. I have some questions. You guys were talking about spin launch earlier before we started recording, because Kevin's making his own fucking little nightmare battle bot with no wheels in the
Scariest
backyard.
thing. Alec,
Kevin launch.
I did a thing, was talking about doing it too, and he was asking me for advice. I was like,
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, I was talking with him about it too, because I was like posting pictures, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was trying to do that. It's like totally fucked. Good luck."
Yeah, I did a little bit of rudimentary math and was like, this is extraordinarily horrible.
Yeah.
I have more trust in your engineering skills.
So that's my question. I don't know how much you dug into it. It's fucking impossible, right? It's fucking impossible.
It's not like what they're trying to do is physically possible.
But,
Like the
like-
physics check out. Like the material properties are there. The actual physics
Yeah.
of being able to do it. It's just, why would you do it?
And who's going to give them the money to do it?
Yeah.
It seems like how much energy is in the whole system?
Less than a rocket.
Really?
Yeah, because you don't need to lift the entire rocket. You're just spinning something in a vacuum, and then you can.
Yeah, but you're spinning up the entire machine.
But it's in a vacuum, so there's no resistance.
I know, but how much kinetic energy does the whole contraption have?
It's in the video. If you look at my video, it's not a lot.
The whole,
What
but
he's
not
just trying to say-
I'm the whole machine, not just the rocket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But,
You're saying
but
the
then they
whole-
do regenerative braking on it too.
Yeah, but what happens in a
Oh.
catastrophic failure?
Oh.
Because you're
Oh.
talking like God, an atomic bomb? No,
Yeah, it'd be pretty bad.
it would be fucking horrendous.
But like the
dude, it would
the
fling a
vessel-
concrete counterweight like literally like 1,000 kilometers. No,
like they're not doing it. Like I was telling you what their counterweight is.
Yeah.
But this is all public information too.
the bucket of never mind. This is a cum joke somewhere.
No, they're just
Is it a bucket of cum?
Barrels.
God.
just donated from Elon.
He's
This is how he's impregnating.
I've been saving this up. I thought I'd use it all, but anyway,
I just had this laying around. You can dig it.
It's actually a piss rocket. It's
Piss bucket
the piss
counterweight.
ballast.
They like this was like one of the big questions with them of like, how are they counterbalancing this?
Yeah.
Because if you release it, it's gonna like vibrate itself to pieces.
Yeah.
They just build a fake rocket out of fiberglass. The other one is carbon fiber.
Yeah.
The fake one is just fiberglass, and they just throw that into a concrete pad. So like when they launch it, they just go bang! On the inside.
Wait, holy shit!
It's like they don't even like dig a pit for it to go into
Yeah.
or anything.
No, there's just a concrete.
That's
you can
not-
see it on the
we were-
machine. There's a big like.
We were talking
pad.
about
Yeah.
making symmetrical. I didn't mean that
Yeah,
symmetrical.
yeah,
though.
and like they're not that dumb, right? They've probably figured out something like. But I guess that is the easiest way.
Yeah.
Their plan is eventually to just launch 2, so they'll launch it and then wait a half cycle and then throw the second one, and like the bearing, the oil bearing is strong. They say it's strong enough. I don't know.
As they're balancing what? That's what I'm curious. Like, what is the kinetic energy of the entire structure?
One goes straight up into the sky to the moon. The other one goes through the
China.
entire Earth
To China.
Like, it would be fucked, right?
Yeah,
It would
like,
just the whole
like
building would explode. and then you
gigajoules.
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've done Vibe.
But I mean, like like, what's the worst case scenario? You take all the energy in the counterweight system, and
Well, also if it's held a lot closer to the shaft, there's not that much. It doesn't have as much energy.
Yeah,
is that a cum joke?
and like it is pretty like carbon fiber is pretty easy to model and stuff.
My
but-
counterweight hangs very far from the shaft.
But like
I've never had a more controversial video than the spin launch thing. I got
Really?
so much hate.
Why?
Like, still to this day, because people like treat it like it's a scam, and like maybe I don't think I think that's strong. I think it's very likely to fail, and if some VC wants to put 100 million of their money into it,
Yeah. It's fine by them. Yeah.
we get the memes.
It
I
is an
love
idea.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know? Like
Yeah.
fuck, do something weird, do something cool. Like I'm all for it, you know?
Yeah, it's fun.
Piss rocket.
That's what
spin
we should be
launch,
funding.
Like, come on. If I could
VC money.
even 10%
Yeah,
on where
I'll
my
make a piss
taxes
rocket.
go.
I'll get the
Yes.
space powered by
I'll,
piss.
I'll help with some of the piss. We just need you to help with some of the money.
We've got
know,
so many YouTubers
shot
so
piss.
full of piss.
We shot
And
bears out
you've
of a
got hundreds of how much money do we have?
bears out of an
$200 million?
ejection seat.
$1 billion.
We could do this.
$100 million. You could probably do it for $10 million.
I think like,
What, you want to
$10
go to
million.
space?
yeah.
Make a piss rocket. No.
We need more.
We don't have to go to
more than
space.
10. No. Oh yeah, no. This is just for memes.
Yeah, give us $10 million. We'll give you a piss
We'll
rocket.
fly it over like Russia and
Yeah.
just douse them in piss.
We'll detonate it before all the fuel's been used. So just piss going everywhere.
Psychological warfare.
Yeah, we made a rocket out of piss and flew it over your country. I would be demoralized.
We are America's least talented engineers.
Could you imagine memeing that hard?
Or
Like
just North Korea.
Yeah.
Anytime they launch a rocket, just launch a piss rocket
right over.
them.
That's actual psychological warfare, dude. Like they know we like paint it yellow too, so it's obviously piss. Like, oh damn it, they're fucking making fun of us again with their piss rocket.
These goddamn YouTubers.
I really like the idea of piss rocket. How dangerous is that?
I mean, ammonium and
Is it
hydrous
bad?
ammonia. I mean,
Bad.
that's a bomb.
I
That's a
don't know.
bomb.
I'm not a chemist.
Or what was it reacting with? It was like bipropellant or
I
something.
think
Or
it's
was
just
it?
liquid oxygen. Liquid
Oh,
oxygen
and
with
ammonia and
hydrous,
burning
yeah.
liquid
I
oxygen
think.
and ammonia.
I
Makes
think.
like that's
they-
like the nice spicy orange gas that
Ooh.
comes
no,
out. then, right?
that's hydrazine.
Well, it
Hydrazine
probably makes the same thing, or nitrous oxide, or nitrogen oxide,
What are these
because it's
hydrogen?
burning nitrogen.
Hydrazine is a
This is like a very good fuel, but it's horrible.
it's a hypergolic fuel, so like it just spontaneously ignites.
So it's very good for rocket, but very
it's
bad
like
for
a lot easier to build a rocket with
Okay.
it. Yeah,
very lot
someone's
easier.
gonna correct me on this. Huh?
No, you're right.
I cannot
I'm pretty sure
imagine
that's right.
why
Yeah.
they would use it for any reason other than it's easier or better.
I mean, so did you see the thing with China?
Yeah. Well, they're just dumping. There's the better part up until until it lands into a neighborhood.
It's insane. They're already doing it to themselves with an even worse thing than piss. Like hydrazine will, like basically make you suffocate, like on the spot. Like it just fills your lungs.
It's like
with
cyanide,
fluid.
right?
Yeah.
Almost.
Or like it
It's
damages your lung tissue, so you start like,
And, like almost immediately.
oh my god,
Yeah, yeah.
like chlorine gas.
Yeah,
Like
it's so dangerous. Like you see the people working with it in NASA back in the day. Even with the space shuttle, when the space shuttle landed, they'd roll out this huge fan. Like they basically had a mobile like wind turbine that would blow all the hydrazine away,
oh my god,
and they'd have to come out with the like little mini
staying
like,
upwind.
Yeah. And they had like exclusion zones for the astronauts when they're in spacewalks. So, like stay away from the hydrazine nozzles. Like it's really bad. It's really bad. Like even a small bit of it is really bad. And China's just crop dusting the shit out of their people with it.
That's fucked.
All the tankies still defend it though.
You know,
Hydrazine?
sometimes it's in fighter jets too. They use it for like the emergency generator fuel,
Yeah.
and so that's why don't go near a fighter jet crash. Also, I remember one time a full tank somehow ended up on eBay.
Of hydrazine?
Yeah, it was like the whole aircraft. Like,
Somebody
emergency
died
generator.
that had family working at NASA in like the 60s.
Which fighter jet uses hydrazine?
I don't know. Look it up. Just
I know,
like
the SR-71 used like a
Like
kind of hypergolic
hyd-
thing to
Cord, look up
start the engines.
hydrazine emergency generator plane or something.
F-16.
Yeah, one of those units I think appeared online at one point.
How did I not know this?
Is this still a thing?
I think so. Yeah, because it's like you don't need a spark to make it burn. It just burns.
Oh, so it just
So,
like works.
It just
even
like
worse.
instantly works. It's like
I'm surprised I didn't know that.
I'm full of little useless.
I was gonna say if
tidbits.
Kevin says something like that, it's usually true
Yeah.
because there's no reason for him to make it up.
I mean, I just made a video about the F-16. I'm obsessed with the F-16. It's one of my favorite planes. I don't know how I didn't know that.
Clearly,
I don't know anything else about the F-16. Or it's all
This is,
just
like,
it's
literally
all
the only thing he knows.
it's all in like plane space. They're kind of all the same, and I can just kind of like pick out a fact, and it
Yeah.
could be about any plane. I don't know. Like the F-16 also uses a nozzle underneath to keep it floating in midair. It can do that.
What?
I don't know. Maybe that's another plane.
That's
I'm making a
I
joke.
think that's the
That's
747.
That's the Harrier.
Oh, that's
Oh,
the,
7. Yeah, it can do that. Like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. That's the 35, right?
Yeah,
of the
oh,
variants,
yeah.
The 35C, right? Is it A, B, and C or something? Is it
And
B?
I.
Yeah.
I love
think-
that.
Wait,
That's my no.
Israel gets their own too, right?
Maybe I don't know enough about
I?
planes. If Kevin said
Or
it, it's
J?
probably true.
Japan.
Emergency button.
What about the K variant? I want one.
Okay, the ketamine, the F-35 ketamine variant. You're not actually flying. You're just grounded. It's a simulator. You're just like,
The fucking KO.
Bro, put me in a K-hole and then send me in the fucking G-force simulator.
Oh jeez. Have you ever done?
No.
Yeah, I want to
I
have what the
think I
bear
would do
had.
very poorly in one of
Yeah,
those.
I got so sick.
I have very low
so
blood
sick.
pressure, I think, in
Yeah.
general, and so I would pretty much, I think, die.
Dude, I start like browning out on roller coasters.
Yes, uh-huh.
Yeah.
You shit your pants?
Browning in.
Oh, browning in.
Blacking out. Well, yeah, blacking out.
I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, my vision.
Blacking
I
out is
definitely
passing
get.
out. Browning out definitely sounds like shitting your pants.
Yeah.
But
And I yellow out too.
yeah. I white out.
Oh no.
Oh yes. No, I'm not gonna talk about that. I just got a whole lecture about cum jokes
Yeah.
from one of my childhood heroes, and here I am, just absolutely just.
Savage.
Confirm nor deny it.
Sorry, Adam.
Why was it telling you that?
I don't, maybe I just make too many cum jokes. I don't know.
Cum jokes are in right now.
I
Stocks are
thought
up.
cum jokes were in.
Are they still up? Let us know down below.
Yeah, let us type the. No, I'm not gonna. Nope.
Have you ever talked to Mario, Mr. Beast's like old retention?
The bald
analytics
guy?
dude? Yeah,
Yeah.
bald guy.
I think I yelled at him once during Squid Game.
He's a nice guy. I like Mario. Or he was telling us that like one of the first lessons they saw was like anytime they made a piss joke, that like an audience would like drop off like a cliff.
Really?
People really don't like the word piss, so we've been fucking here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes
Your
sense, but like
retention.
cum jokes are fine, right?
No,
guys?
it's probably their parents. Like,
Oh,
what
okay.
is this trash? Right? Because like
That's-
I couldn't see kids caring.
Yeah, and that was like before when they used to make like really stupid. Like they had that like cardboard cutout of an Asian guy in their office that they used to
Really?
make fun of.
What was it?
You ever watch
What did
old
they-
Mr. Beast videos?
What was the joke?
I can't even remember. It was just like
Was
just
it
a
funny at
stupid-
least?
It was just like teenagers being
Oh, yeah.
teenagers. Like it wasn't anything terrible, but
Yeah.
it
It
was
was just
enough
stupid.
that like when I was going back looking at some of their videos, I was like, this.
So
I'm
you got away
surprised
with
this
this?
is still on the
Yeah.
internet.
It's definitely. I think the culture shifts very fast online.
Yeah.
Like some stuff that you don't even think twice about. and then-
Especially like when you're like he was just a teenager.
Yeah,
He
like,
wasn't,
actually.
yeah. Like,
I mean, they're basically still
Oh yeah,
teenagers.
I feel
basically,
like
yeah.
people get a pass.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a
Jesus,
teenager.
Like, some of the shit I was saying as a teenager, it's just
I-
stupid.
All I can think about is that like any of the jokes we made back then were like fine then. Like it was.
Yeah, it's like
I'm just saying then. Like
it's not malicious.
It's not
Anything-
malicious.
yeah.
So you're just sort of copying like the pop culture humor.
Yeah.
And
And you
so-
don't know better. Like there's no
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that have happened, in the past 10 years where you're just like, yeah, that makes sense why that would not be funny now.
We're all just like preempting for people looking back through our Twitter accounts.
I've changed some old video titles on like old channels because, used words that you wouldn't use now. But it was like YouTube titles, nothing got restricted or anything.
Yeah. Well,
Nothing
YouTube was
bad.
different a little bit back then as well. That you could
Yeah.
kind of get away with the algorithm, like all the AI stuff now is like so quick with
Yeah.
like no.
Like Linus Tech Tips the R word. The hard R. You didn't see that? Oh fuck! It's the fun. No, we should hear. I think we went over this in the podcast before. They were doing the WAN Show podcast, and they were I don't know how they got on the topic they're talking about. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm starting to remember.
Yeah, he conflated hard R with mentally challenged.
Yeah.
You absolute R word.
Yeah.
Is what the.
It's a very fun 2 minutes of the WAN Show.
He's a funny guy.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the Safety Third podcast. I hope you enjoyed your time. I hope that everybody watching this now thinks that Brian is smarter than they did before they started watching.
Oh, man. I think this is the first podcast or anything where I've just been able to be myself. So this is the real me.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that we've done that partly because we're lazy. Is that it's easier. You just sort of hang out, talk around things
It's
that are
nice.
interesting.
I hate going on a podcast and I have to prepare.
Yeah.
And have notes on rockets and things. And we can talk about this thing. It's
No.
Yeah, but now people think you're dumb for not knowing the
Yeah.
F-16 emergency power unit has hydrazine.
Oh, people think I'm
idiot.
stupid for a lot of reasons.
Dude, that's
A lot of
honestly, dude,
reasons.
the more you embrace that, the better. Because then it's there's no pressure. You're just living life.
I think my channel relies on being accurate a lot, and I got
just say you got
the
fact
Space
checkers for
Pioneer Award, and
Well, you didn't even
it
know there's
says-
fucking hydrazine in an F-16, so fucking stupid.
You should get that award to me. What award is it?
the Space Pioneer Award.
That
but,
sounds
is that a
fancy,
t-shirt?
but I've
Yes,
never
yeah.
heard
Maybe
about
it's a
it.
t-shirt
so-
somewhere.
green card, but it says on the plaque, hugely popular and accurate. I was
Yes. I would look like a shirt, like a cool engineering drawing shirt of this idiot didn't know there's hydrazine in an F-16. Did you know there's hydrazine in an F-16? It's got a picture of the eBay canister.
that's going to become a meme now.
Yeah.
People are did you know? I was this is my new spin launch, the new thing people come up to me and ask me about.
I want spin launch, but the whole thing detonates. We blow one of the arms off and see what happens.
Oh yeah, that's probably going to happen with mine.
We should do that. What if we just make it spin really fast and then detonate
I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen when I just turn it up really fast.
Have you, I assume you've done.
Yeah, I did. In
I-
Fusion.
Yeah.
I just kept changing the safety factor until it turned green, and then I.
That is such an
I-
engineering way of doing it.
I do not think that thing will be able to spin fast enough to do that. I think something catastrophic will happen before. I think you'll bend the
It'll
shaft.
vibrate.
Yes, I think it's going to bounce around. The energy of bouncing is going to be so
Well, it's
high.
balanced with the dart on it.
Then, if you get any,
That's what. If
the wind
if
or
the
anything.
blade
Yeah.
twists a little bit, it becomes a fan,
Yeah.
and it's just gonna.
It'll
You're
just
gonna
rip it.
get-
It'll literally rip
yeah,
itself
you're
apart
gonna-
instantly.
An
Yeah.
aerodynamic floater or something.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
gonna that stuff is not easy.
Yeah, so I've got to go out in the desert.
You're
for
going to have to
that one.
sharpen it. Make
I
it
was-
razor sharp on the edge.
I
so
was
it cuts
thinking
the air
about
better.
it.
You definitely need to go out to the desert. So if it
Yeah.
broke you, the worst, best case scenario, you die. Worst case scenario, you kill the kid a kilometer away.
I know.
I think you could. I don't know how to. This would be really hard to calculate, but I think you could fling something extremely fucking far, something heavy, because
Yeah.
that whole system is very powerful.
Mhm.
Throwing a dart is actually super, super, super underkill. That thing could probably fling a baseball miles.
Yeah, and
I think
2000. Well, yeah, 2000 RPM. It's going about 500 miles an hour at the tip. So
Holy shit.
yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
I think a dart is actually probably one of the best form factors.
it's
We've
really high ballistic
exited-
coefficient on that.
Yeah.
Baseball would slow down really quickly.
We've definitely. It's so fast that you've exited your normal assumptions you can make. There's just a lot of things happening that you can't take for granted.
I'm just
anymore.
gonna have to actually use just a straight up titanium rod because a dart won't survive that.
No.
There's gonna be 500 pounds pulling up on the
Yeah.
dart.
I'm at least. Are you gonna
Yeah.
keep all the
Yeah.
fletchings and stuff? on
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
It won't. You can't. You can't. You literally can't.
Yeah.
Everything will get ripped off the
Yeah.
dart.
I'll have to have something on top of the dart then
Yeah.
that keeps it from falling apart.
Even if you had it in a vacuum, the dart would rip itself apart.
uh-huh.
That's how
It's not
bad.
designed to be because it's gonna
Yeah.
weigh even the fletchings are gonna weigh.
A gram,
How
yeah.
much G's are you gonna be pulling in it?
What is?
Well, the 25 gram dart is going to weigh 500 pounds. So
yeah. What is that?
that's a lot.
I'm pretty sure that math is right. I think that's right math. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
what Fusion said.
That's
Oh, you did it in Fusion?
Yeah.
Oh, I did
I
it in a
simulated
spreadsheet,
it.
right?
Yeah, and we came out.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah. So then it's definitely super correct, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. 500 pounds of
It's good.
force
I'm
to
always
hold the
terrified.
dart.
I told you that I caught my nephew. I say it's catching him watching porn. I caught him watching one of your videos.
Whoa.
They had him quickly switch over to porn.
Yeah.
No, but like he didn't know I was a YouTuber. He was like 10. I just chose not to tell him. But when I caught him watching your video, I was like, don't copy this stuff.
Don't do this at home.
Like, this is like the Mark Rober, like going down the rabbit hole of YouTube thing. As he started on Mark Rober and then he got to you. Like,
Yes.
this is very dangerous.
Microwave
Do not
oven
step in a
transformer.
giant bear trap, please.
If he can make a giant bear trap, he deserves to step in the giant bear trap.
Yeah, that's my philosophy.
He's a smart kid. He can probably figure it out.
Was it the bear trap one? Or was this a while ago?
It wasn't the bear trap video. I can't remember which video I was watching, but I was like, oh, I know that guy. It's like, no, you don't. I was like, I do. I showed him a picture of me with Mr. Beast. He was like, oh, and then he just like asked me all the questions. It's like, oh, it's a cool uncle now. All thanks to you. I showed him my videos, and he was like roasting my videos. And he was like, you need to do more of this.
The videos are so straightforward. What can you possibly roast?
For a 10-year-old?
Yeah.
Boring as shit.
Dude, I would have
10-year-olds don't
loved
watch
that
mine.
shit on like Discovery or TLC. Like this.
Yeah, I think there are like some severely autistic 10-year-olds out there that are like, this is my jam. This is what I would have watched.
Engineers are not people who are in I think engineering in general. There's like, I don't want to say something wrong with them. It's not the right word, but they
I'm not saying that. In a
I'm not saying
derogatory
that.
way.
No, I mean it in the nicest way possible. That though they ain't right. They ain't right. I know so many of them. Y'all ain't right.
Yeah. Sure, I
It's
used to
true.
get in trouble for like
You know,
reading.
they're not even gonna get mad. They fucking know it.
Yeah, they love it. Like,
They love it.
one
They're
of
like,
you.
yeah, we're
One
fucked
of
up.
you.
Let's do this. Let's make a thing that throws.
I
shit really
downloaded.
far.
I like trains that I'm not ashamed
to
of it.
read on a job. Like,
Yeah, I'm right.
It's like the shit I like.
I ain't right. That boy ain't right.
I used to get in trouble for like reading like college textbooks and shit in school because I was like bored with this shit.
I can't explain anything that I do to any of my family. Like they don't fucking get it at all. They look at me and they're like, that boy ain't right.
I would do the same thing. I would like go to Goodwill and I would buy like a chemistry textbook.
That boy ain't right.
I know.
While I was like actively failing school too, and I'm like reading just other stuff for fun because the other stuff was boring.
Did you
We were like wrapping this up like.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah. All right.
What-
Bye.
all right, thanks everybody who supports us on Patreon. If you that's it. Anything you want to promote? The names are on the screen right now, I think.
Bobby Fingers.
Bobby Fingers.
Go watch Bobby Fingers.
Go watch Bobby Fingers.
He's my favorite.
Watch some of his videos. They're insane.
Yeah, I feel like I don't need to do this joke. I used to like always say it at the end of podcasts because I'm like, I don't need more views. But he was like up and coming. But he just did a video with Adam Savage. It's like, he's going to be the biggest Irish YouTuber pretty quick.
Yeah.
Fuck Jacksepticeye.
Damn.
Return my emails. I want to be friends.
Bobby Fingers?
No,
He didn't
Bobby
respond?
Fingers responds.
Jacksepticeye doesn't?
He never.
No, Jacksepticeye, he's nice. I've met him a couple times. He kind of feels like some of these, they just kind of like,
Yeah, no, I'm joking. I'm sure he gets like a million.
Yeah, that's
a
probably what it is.
million. But I
just
just
even like PewDiePie is like that. Like he kind of just, he'll respond every once in a while. I'll send him just baby memes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed coming. Sorry, Adam.